It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen?
Keeler's always in the know.
It makes me want to call him
And tell him where to go.
And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Okay, good morning. It's Wednesday, middle of the week. Hard to believe. We're flying through the week. Another day in the 80s, low 80s again. Once again.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
Low 80s.
I'm loving it.
Tomorrow, low 80s. Near 80 degrees on Friday, mid-70s Saturday, low to mid-70s Sunday, with really sun and clouds in there all the way through. Sunday's the first day of fall. First rain we've had in a long time may very well come on Tuesday, so they say.
Well, it's interesting. You know, it's going to be pleasant weather all the way through to next Tuesday, but it's going to be decreasing throughout the weekend into the first part of the week.
Decreasingly decreasing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's a term I learned from Kamala.
Okay.
No.
It is. All right. That makes sense.
No, but
Yeah.
it's
Now it
the
makes
temperatures.
sense.
The temperatures will be going down. You know, slowly and slightly.
So it would be increasingly decreasing.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
All right.
Didn't I say that?
Well, I think you did, as a matter of fact. Rob Esch is on today. We're going to talk about the amazing week and a half that's about to come up here
Oh yeah.
with the World Championship box lacrosse that is coming here Friday. By the way, Team USA, the women play at 4 and the men play at 8 on the inside the Adirondack Bank Center. So they'll be using Nexus. There's some outdoor stuff. There's actually on Tuesday they'll be playing in Oneida as well, adding that to the mix. This is just huge for the area, and there are 28 countries coming to. Many are probably already here. 28 countries competing in this. This is also historic because it's the first women World Championships that have occurred ever, and it'll be all happening right here.
So we have both the men's and women's competing.
Men and women competing here.
That is
and
awesome.
It's all going on. It's all happening. And it begins Friday. Tickets are available. We might have some tickets to give away. I don't know. I got to check on that today. Free money question this morning, Davey. What are we going with today? Where are we? What dollar amount? I did talk to Hobaika at length yesterday. What dollar amount are we running with here today to give somebody a chance to win?
$200.
$200.
He's just kind of skating here.
Last night I tried again to watch Wheel of Fortune, and I couldn't do it.
Well, we actually, it's become a Tuesday night tradition.
Seacrest out.
Yes, that's very good. Every Tuesday night, our tradition now is to watch the latest Only Murders in the Building episode.
I just
We're
saw
officially
it, yeah.
caught up.
Yeah, we are too, and I do like that show a lot. The owner of the Celtic Harp is the legendary bar downtown that helped build Varick Street.
Yes.
Into what it is today is Tom Powers is on this morning. That place is being sold.
Up for sale.
A lot of positive memories right there. Jeremy Rosenthal is on the Rosenthal Report.
The Rosenthal Report.
Later on this morning, 3 legal stories, and he'll blow them all out. Ryan Nobles from oh, there it goes. Ryan Nobles, a little late on the blowout, but yeah, it's there. Ryan Nobles from NBC. Mighty John, the record guy, is on this morning. And I want you to just gather up any that you might have, any vinyl records that you want to know the value of. If you call in, he will give you the value on the spot of the record. There's also a couple. Somebody's asking about the Moody Blue album by Elvis. It was Elvis's last album that he had put out. If you have the blue vinyl, Moody Blue album, clear blue vinyl, the vinyl is actually blue. It is worth about listen to this, $10. If you have it and it's on black vinyl, it might be worth over $100, and that's where we're at today. Records that are worth over $100 or more. And but if you have something, and we're going to get the answers because there are several versions of the black vinyl. Which one is worth the money, or are they all worth the money? And we'll speak with John. But any record that you might have, get ready. We'll do that about right after the free money question, about 7:40 this morning. We'll get them on. Let's see. Tomorrow. The sun will come out at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And Jimmy Fallon tickets go on sale.
Oh, yeah.
At 10 a.m., and we're going to give you a link. You can go to the website and buy them right at their, there's a story up on our site right now, right at the Capitol Theater's website, or you could go to the box office and buy them. You're always guaranteed when you're there physically. Tickets go on sale 10 a.m. tomorrow. Prices range from $47 to $67. It is a part of our 99th birthday celebration. You know what that means. Next year, we're celebrating 100.
100 years of broadcasting.
Anyway, tickets for Jimmy go on sale tomorrow. Get ready for that. What else do I have? Richard is all on here this morning. He's all in. Tell Andrew, do some DD.
Due diligence. What now?
Soto has now hit a home run in every stadium. And he is correct. It's 30. He's hit every stadium.
Okay, I thought he was chasing two, and
he's hit all of them. In fact, yesterday made the statement, it is a great way to be going into free agency when I have hit a home run in every stadium in America.
He said that?
Yes, and Canada.
He said that?
I believe that was his quote.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to pull it up. You don't believe me?
I don't believe you for a second.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that's the quote I read this morning. Let me see if I can find it right now. You annoy me sometimes. I'm telling you. You send me right down into the rabbit hole.
Wow, he did say that.
Do you have it?
Yeah, wow, that's disturbing.
Are you making this up?
No, it says Soto's fourth inning two-run homer meant he had finally hit a home run in all 30 active ballparks. That was a big deal to the 25-year-old. Quote, what a best way to go into free agency with all 30 ballparks checked off my list.
Davey, mark it down. This is the
He's not sticking around because Aaron Boone's a bum.
100th time that he's tried to correct me, and I am right.
Well, at least I admit when I'm wrong.
Okay. Are you saying I don't?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
You're right, Richard. Seattle was the one that was missing, and that box has been checked. It's a fraud treatment. That's why insurance won't pay for it. I don't know what he's talking about here. Fake news. It's a fraud treatment. Oh, he doesn't like and I disagree with you, Richard, because the only thing I can tell you is I was speaking with my doctor about the stuff that you
the soft wave?
The soft wave. He doesn't like that. Listen, number one, if you have pain,
he doesn't like much.
If you have pain, you're going to try anything.
It's the problem.
Number
you're
two,
a miserable human being.
It is the reason why it doesn't. It's not going to fix every ailment that you have, but if you have certain issues with pain, like one of them is perfect. What you had with when you ran that.
Yes.
Did you run the half marathon?
I completed it.
You completed it.
Yeah.
Well, that says a lot.
Yes.
That it works very well on that. Now, and there's a reason why it really is in every baseball stadium. You find it in hockey locker rooms. You find it everywhere.
Aaron Rodgers bought one for his home.
Don't talk about that, though. That does
it
not
doesn't
help.
it? Okay.
No. I don't think.
It's not the ayahuasca that helped him through his Achilles injury.
That is true.
You're
right. The reality is,
and the reason, Richard, and actually,
by the way, if you have pain, you're going to try whatever you can try, and if it works, and we're told, and you actually used it yourself, so you have a personal story to tell
firsthand
that it does. So, Richard, I do not agree with you here.
And maybe because the insurance company would rather you stay on medications to manage the pain or have it pay for an expensive injection.
Yeah, the reality is let's be honest here. Insurance won't cover most chiropractic.
They don't, and the chiropractors don't take insurance now. A lot
so it's and don't tell me that doesn't work. Nonetheless, it is what it is, and that soft wave technology is something that is used a lot. So take it for what it is. Soto, are we in agreement that he did say what a great way to go into free agency?
So. I guess
Listen,
so.
He's playing his cards. You can't blame him. He has no major loyalty to anybody at this point.
No, I mean you've given no reason to. When you've got a manager like Boone, who again they're playing well, they're 4 games up. I think he's frustrated with the managing style and the general managing style of this team.
Let me go, if we could, to Tanya J. Powers. Sexual harassment as common today for women in the workplace as it was 5 years ago, according to a new study. That's very surprising. I will tell you that in this building, all management, I believe almost all management is
correct
female here. We are women managed at this place, Tanya.
That's good to hear.
And I have zero complaints. I'm used to it. I have a daughter and a wife, so I'm women managed at home as well. So there you go.
Well, I can tell you that this new study probably won't shock a ton of women. It is the 10th yearly Women in the Workplace report, and it's done by the consulting firm McKinsey and the advocacy group Lean In. And they found that while women have made some gains in corporate America, there has also been a lack of progress, to say the least, on several things like rates of early career promotion. They're still way behind men's. Widespread sexual harassment, that is still going on. Only about half of women today express confidence that their employers would effectively deal with harassment if they reported it. That is not a big change from 2018. And the reason I cite 2018 is because, of course, Me Too started, the rise of Me Too started in 2017. It's hard to believe it's been that many years, but it has. And what this study found was that women, are almost 6 in 10 college graduates in the U.S. and now half the labor market. And it's the rate of sexual harassment has not improved in the last 5 years. The study found a growing gap between young men and young women when it comes to prioritizing gender and racial diversity. Only about 4 in 10 men under 30 currently support those efforts. That's down from about half in 2019. 7 in 10 young women support prioritizing diversity. That's also little change from 5 years ago as well. Women are still having to deal with broken rung. And if you're wondering what that is, the definition of broken rung in this case means basically that, for every 100 men promoted and hired to manager, only 72 women are promoted and hired. This means more women get stuck in entry-level jobs. Fewer women become managers. Men end up holding about 62% of manager-level positions. Women hold just 38%. And, if you kind of extrapolate that out, it basically means that, it's not just like, okay, well, that's just at this job. That basically means once you don't have manager or anything like that to put on your resume, future potential people aren't going to see you as one unless you've already, been in that position. That's just kind of the way things go. So if you kind of miss that rung, for a lot of women, you just miss it. And that means, that you're going to have to deal with, not being able to be promoted to a manager in the future, potentially. That's obviously less income. That's a whole, other domino effect of stuff. So this study is actually quite telling and kind of important to pay attention to.
Okay, as I said, we would be an anomaly here, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that in sales. In our boss directly here is a woman, the top boss,
head
of the building.
honcho.
Yeah. And it's very interesting too in radio, Tanya. Women are in a minority when it comes to people applying for radio jobs, and that's been that way for quite some time. Do you know that?
Well, I mean, you're talking to one who got into radio at 17, and it is quite a different landscape now, where there are a lot more women. Back then, I would be most of the time the only woman at my radio station, is on air anyway.
Talk about
that's changed, but it's not. It is not as prevalent like you would think as in maybe other fields. No.
Let me ask you, Tanya, because you were there. What was it like at age 17 in the 90s in radio?
Well, you're kind, and it wasn't in the 90s, but
well, I'm just saying, that.
But thank you. My skin cream is working apparently.
Yes.
It was the first radio station I ever applied to. They told me, because I wanted to be on the radio, and they said, "Oh, well, we don't need any secretaries," and basically told me, "Well, we don't hire girls for that," And I was like, "Okay."
Wow.
And really, that was for me personally, that was the equivalent of let's just wave a red flag in front of a bull, because I was like, well, I'm clearly not going to listen to you.
Yeah, Tanya don't play.
And didn't.
Good.
But it was not as it was kind of just understood at that point that most of these jobs were going to be held by men, and there weren't. If there was already, or the other thing I heard was that we've already got a girl.
Already got a girl.
If there was a woman on the air already, then there wasn't room for two. So that was a thing.
We had a really good radio and television program at a community college where I took my first job in the Mohawk Valley region down in Little Falls, and there were a lot of women working there, which was really surprising for 1981, 82, 83, which is when I got started. However, my next job, my first big job, my next job was in 1989 when I took on a morning host position, and it was well known. You have a morning man and a sidekick female, and let's bring in the woman for the female audience. Which, by the way, at that time I was in top 40. The female audience was enormous.
Yeah.
And here's one more thing I thought was interesting, and this is 1982. 83. I was told the rule was you never would play two women back to back. You would never start off the hour with a woman artist.
No.
I mean, and now listen to the top 40 today. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's all women.
Yeah,
now
that was the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you have to play 3 Taylor Swift songs in a row.
In a row, right.
If you want to stay on,
right.
on the
I'm sure we're taking up too much of your time, but Tanya, we appreciate you. Not as a woman.
Thank you.
But as an amazing broadcaster. So.
I appreciate that. And by the way, I am wholeheartedly in favor of that 3 in a row Taylor Swift station. I would listen to that all day long.
She's huge. All
right. Just saying.
Good deal, Tanya. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you.
Have a great day, Tanya. Jay Powers from Fox News Radio. It is true that listen, when I have 2 boys and a daughter, and we brought up our daughter to be very tough, and to because listen, she had brothers, older brothers, so she knew what it was like to. It wasn't a gender thing as much as it was the older siblings. So we always taught her to be tough, to challenge everything, and boy, did that come back to bite me.
Yeah.
Oof. Oof.
Not me. Just everything else.
Every man except me is what I should have told her. Let me break quickly. I have more comments from Richard. Mike has some comments in there this morning as well. And stand by. We'll come right back at WIBX.
This is Bill Cole from Gates Cole Insurance. Finding insurance coverage can be an overwhelming undertaking. As your local independent insurance company, we work hard for you to get the best coverage.
My name's Timothy Dean. I'm from Taberg, New York. We had a house fire. Got a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning. My house was fully involved. That morning at 6 o'clock, I called. Leslie was my agent, and within a matter of 20 minutes, the agent had called me. And within a matter of 2 hours, the agent was on scene, assisting me with whatever I needed, and Gates Cole went above and beyond. I would highly recommend Gates Cole Insurance to anyone for the customer service that they have provided for me during not only my fire, but also for all my business needs.
This is Tom Cole. For insurance for your home, auto, business, and just about everything else, trust your local independent insurance agency. Gates Cole Insurance. We'll take care of you.
By now, you've probably heard of Upside, the free app that gets you real cash back at gas stations. But Upside is so much more than just a gas app. Upside lets you earn cash back at more than 85,000 grocery stores, gas stations, and restaurants, including popular national chains and local favorites. Just download the free app, claim an offer, and get real cash back on your purchase. There are no complicated points or rebates. With Upside, you can earn up to $10 cash back every time you go to the grocery store or dine out. That's up to $10 right back in your pocket on every meal out and every grocery run. The best part? You can earn on top of your credit or debit card rewards. Download Upside today. Use promo code SNACK10 and get a 10% cashback bonus on your first purchase. Get the Upside app and use promo code SNACK10 for an extra 10% cashback bonus. That's promo code SNACK10. Offers vary by user and location. Terms and conditions apply. Go to upside.com for details.
Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy is a serious heart condition. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. My HCM impacted how I felt and what I could do. So I asked my cardiologist about treatment advances that gave me new options. That conversation was big for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com to learn more.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
Carl's massive overstock clearance sale. Recliners from $199. Sofa and love seats from $299 each. Bedroom $799 or less. My Carl's New Hartford Shopping Center. Carl's massive overstock clearance sale. Recliners from $199. Sofa and love seats from $299 each. Bedroom $799 or less. My Carl's New Hartford Shopping Center.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I don't like onions. I'm doing paleo. Do they have gluten-free bagels? You can't juggle every food request for a work event, or can you? EasyCater is the all-in-one tech platform that makes it easy to get restaurant catering for work, with options for any group size, taste, dietary preference, or budget. EasyCater saves your favorite restaurants and orders, which makes reordering a snap. Need to modify an order? No problem. So when it comes to food for work, make it easy on yourself with EasyCater. Start your order at easycater.com.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, I got to say, the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford, which, by the way, they finally finished up that construction over there. Easy in, easy out. That's always nice. And get the most delicious avocado toast at Daylight Donuts. Fresh donuts made there every day. That's something that, you know, a lot of these places will ship in donuts made somewhere else.
Yeah.
And they freeze them and then ship them in. You can tell the difference. Oh, and when at Daylight Donuts, I'm just telling you, when the glazed donuts come off in the morning, hot,
Fresh.
off the rack.
Delicious.
Wow. They melt in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Daylight Donuts with a speedy drive-through. You won't wait in line. You're in, you're out, you're on your way. They've got it moving, the drive-through moving. Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. All right, a couple of comments here. Mike this morning says, interesting, the bars at the end of Varick Street are also for sale. Steve and others, they were supposed to be bought by Bowers, but that fell through. Did you know that?
I did, yeah. Those have been for sale for a while.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
Said Gomer Pyle many years ago. Such a surprise. Oh, that's what Richard said, too. I've got to believe the rise in crime around that area has affected nightlife. It appears that bars in the burbs, One Jenny, Killebrews, Knucklehead, etc., are places where young folks like to go.
Yeah.
So they say. That would be me. One of the young ones.
One of the youngins. You do go to the Killebrew.
I do.
Right?
I like all of those places, and really for the food too.
The wings are good.
They have at Killebrew. They have a pierogi that is a what's the sandwich with
Reuben.
A Reuben pierogi.
Wow, that's pretty.
And it is
what a concept
with a Thousand Island dressing that goes along with it, and it's a little spicy.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Craving that right now. Stuff. Maybe that's lunchtime for me. Might be. Let's see. What do we have else? What else do we have here this morning? There's a new thing out there about a neuroscientist has put out, and he's put out it's like a square, and you're supposed to look at it and determine, and it says a lot about you, apparently. You determine whether it is green or blue.
Okay, that's both over there. That picture.
He said it started. This person said it started with an argument over a blanket. I'm a visual neuroscientist. My wife is an ophthalmologist, says the doctor, designer of the viral web app IsMe Blue. We had this argument about a blanket in our house. I think it's unambiguously green. She thinks it's unambiguously blue. Minot, also a programmer, was fiddling with the AI-assisted coding tools, so he designed a simple color discrimination test. If you navigate to the website, ismy.blue, you'll see the screen populated with a color and be prompted to select whether you think it's green or blue. The shades get more similar until the site tells you where on the spectrum you perceive green and blue in comparison with others who have taken the test. I will tell you, my wife and I kind of go through this every once in a while where I'll say, go get the green garbage bags.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll say, I looked everywhere. I can only find these black ones. And I said, well, those are the green ones. So the hefty bags used to be, and maybe they're not now, and maybe it was just my...
Yeah, you're seeing a green tint.
I'm seeing a dark green. And she said, no, it's black. And I don't know
you
what
said
the
you're
answer
right
is.
because
I immediately said, I am wrong once again.
Yeah,
Allison.
I mean, it's dark green to the sense where it's almost black.
Correct. Yeah, that's how I see it.
That's how I would have told you. Yeah, dark green, black. That's right.
That is how I see it. Anyway, the website, if you want to go to it and waste your time, ismy.blue. ismy.blue if you care. What else? Sad news today. J.D. Souther has passed away. Did you see that?
Now, who's that?
Might have that. And he was... I think at one point was a part of the. I got to look at his bio, but I think at one point was a part.
Oh yeah, he looks familiar.
A part of the Eagles.
Yes.
In fact, wrote a handful of songs that were Eagles songs, including, I believe. I'm trying to bring this up here. I believe he wrote the song or co-wrote with Don Henley the song "New Kid in Town" by the Eagles.
I think
anyway,
Best of My Love too.
Was he a co-writer on that too? Wow. Here it is, J.D. Souther, the singer and songwriter who co-wrote for the Eagles and also for Linda Ronstadt. Remember, the Eagles used to back up Linda Ronstadt, who was huge in the 70s, filling arenas and stadiums around the country. She was enormous. and their Southern California country style, the Eagles. J.D. Souther has died at the age of 78. His death was confirmed by a representative for the Eagles, who said Souther died at his home in New Mexico without specifying a cause or saying when he died. Here are a montage of some of his best-known songs, beginning with Linda Ronstadt live in concert, then singing along with James Taylor. And I think I've got everything plugged in to make this work properly. J.D. Souther, dead at the age of 78.
This next tune was written by a good friend of mine, and he's going to come out and sing it with me, John David Souther.
I never knew they pronounced it Souther.
Maybe she made a mistake. I don't know.
J.D. Souther, dead at the age of 78. When you're only lonely. Oh, James Taylor.
Used to be her town too. He's holding her, and you're still around.
New kid in town right there.
Well, there's a new kid in town. Oh,
that's a big hit. Oh. Remember that one? Oh, no, it's the best of my love.
You get the best of my love.
J.D. Souther.
I don't like that slow version. Extra slow version of Best of My Love. Nonetheless, hey, who am I to say it's his song? Souther and Ronstadt were in a relationship for a while in the 70s. He was going to begin a tour next week in Phoenix. By the way, another song that he co-wrote was by the Eagles, Heartache Tonight.
Oh, that's
he was a co-writer on that one as well.
That is a good one.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Did you see the story in the news on Sean Combs?
Oh, he's in serious
Did he?
trouble. The hits just keep on coming with him.
You know, the video of him, at one point I'm like, well, listen, because what their attorney is saying is these crazy sexual antics, days of doing drugs, whatever. And if it's all consensual, who are we to say, and then maybe you come out of it and you regret it. Who are we to say that that's wrong? And then immediately the video came up of him kicking the woman in the hotel room. And I'm like, okay,
dragging
scumbag.
her by the hair.
Yeah, he's wrong. Scumbag.
Well, he's been having legal troubles for a while, even before that video came out with the allegations of sex trafficking and the like.
Well, and this is what the women who were a part of this are saying is that he just beat them down so badly and then drugged them for days. It was almost cultish.
Yeah.
So pretty weird. Anyway, here's the U.S. Attorney, Damian Williams, on the contrast of what's happened to Sean Diddy Combs since last year. Here's audio.
A year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York.
That's crazy. Florida man. By the way, after my colonoscopy, you haven't had one yet?
No.
You get to go you get something to eat afterwards. And what did I get? And she told me nothing too greasy. So I went with the Big Mac instead of the double cheeseburger. A Florida man was arrested for illegally keeping alligators. I saw there's a McDonald's story coming up. A Florida man was arrested for illegally keeping alligators and several turtles on his property. Here's William Miller denying the allegations when being pressed by a reporter.
I love wildlife. That's why I live out here in the woods.
So you
Okay, I didn't understand a word he said.
don't know how the alligators got in there.
Somebody stuck them in there.
They're denying it, saying, we don't know how they got in there. Somebody stuck them in there.
Yeah.
Okay, he's lying. This is what happens when
Who's taking an alligator and putting into somebody else's yard?
A man in California lives in an apartment, and he recently discovered that he's being charged for a neighbor's usage. A man in California lives in an apartment and recently discovered he's being charged for a neighbor's electrical utility usage, and he's been doing it for the last 18 years. He exposed it himself, and PG&E apologized, that must be the power company, for any inconvenience. Here is Ken Wilson explaining what went down.
Even after I turned off my breakers, I kept going outside to check my meter to see if it was still running, and it was still running. And I couldn't believe it. When I was seeing these spikes with my breakers off, then I said, I'm not looking at my meter. This is somebody else's meter. I feel powerless right now because I can't control my own meter.
He feels powerless right now because he can't control his own power. Well, I'm sure they'll get to the bottom of it, but 18 years could be a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. Especially,
Today is Wednesday. It is National Cheeseburger Day.
Oh, is that what it was?
And which brought me to the McDonald's thing. The neighbor of the failed Trump assassination attempt suspect, Ryan Routh, is that how his name is being pronounced?
Yeah, Ryan Routh.
Routh claims that he kept a live horse. This guy, listen, if you're going to go out and try to shoot a former president, you're a nut job.
Yeah.
Clearly. And they're saying that he was a nut job. And he kept a live horse inside his home. Here is Kim Mungo talking about how her former neighbor and would-be assassin of the former president kept a horse inside his home.
Only thing I seen, they had a horse in the house. I mean, a whole live horse in the house. But like I said, the guns and stuff and all, but yeah, they were, kind of weird in the house where the living room is at. Put hay all in there and the big old live horse. And the horse, yeah. I had told all my friends because they didn't believe me. I took a picture of the horse in the house.
Yeah. She has a
Mama
picture.
said we had never had a horse in that. What was it? The Brady Bunch movie or whatever?
Yeah. Delta Airlines has released a memo of new hires, 4 new hires, featuring 2 pages, all about how employees are required to wear. I can't even believe they're going down this road, but they are. Employees are required to wear underwear. Other clothing guidelines include no skirts above the knee. All clothes must fit properly, and we shouldn't be able to see the underwear you are wearing.
Which do you want? Do you want us to wear the underwear or not show it?
I never had the pleasure of being on a flight where the stewardess was not wearing underwear. And actually, I shouldn't. It could be the man too. There's usually a guy, steward or flight attendant. Let's see. Florida man arrested for, I got that one. Man discovers he's been playing the wrong. Yep, got that one in there. The Yankees blow. Yep, that's a quote from Andrew. I got that in there. J.D. Souther's dead. His name is really pronounced Souther. And then this one. Turgurley Gold started to sing the national anthem at the Steelers-Broncos game, but the microphone wasn't working. Luckily, the crowd helped out. Here we go.
Performing the Stars Special Pennant today is ACM award-winning duo Turgurley Gold.
And then the crowd came in. Whatever. Terrible clip. Don't even know why I played it. The reality is, think of the other, like Roseanne Barr and some of these other people. They would have been better off had the mic not worked.
Yeah.
Right?
Or that girl in the home run derby.
Would have been better off had the mic not worked. Got a break. We have news straight ahead. Free money question from Habaika coming up.
John Legend here. How do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Ask your healthcare provider and book at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hello, Utica. This is Carrie Paleo, Executive Director of the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce. Here in Utica, we're not just growing, we are flourishing. Be sure to support our new businesses and our local economy.
El Senor Tequila Bar and Grill, 103 Genesee Street, New Hartford. Upstate Ink and Thread, 9443 River Road, Marcy. The Network at 600 French, 600 French Road, Utica.
Please join the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce in welcoming these new businesses. Here we grow again.
At Mattress Express, we deliver quickly. If you've waited too long for your mattress to be delivered elsewhere, simply bring your receipt in. We will deliver the same or comparable mattress, and we will meet or beat the price and get it to you quickly. Come see us today.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome,
W295EI,
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Running for president is dangerous. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what former President Trump said at his first event since the second assassination attempt.
You have to do what you have to do, right? We have to be brave. Otherwise, we're not going to have a country left.
That was at a town hall in Flint, Michigan. Today, the former president will hold a rally on New York's Long Island, and he told Fox's Hannity,
"You need more protection, and we've long requested more people."
Vice President Harris in Philadelphia says we can debate and disagree.
Not resort to violence to resolve those issues.
At a Q&A with black journalists, the vice president was critical also of the former president's claims Haitian migrants are eating pets in Springfield, Ohio, which officials there say isn't true.
You cannot be entrusted with standing behind the seal of the President of the United States of America, engaging in that hateful rhetoric.
Hezbollah wants revenge. The day after exploding pagers targeting militants in Lebanon left 12 people dead, thousands injured.
A Lebanese security sources told Reuters that Israel's spy agency Mossad planted explosives inside 5,000 pagers. Many of the communications devices exploded virtually at the same time. Hezbollah sees it as an unprecedented security breach and has vowed to retaliate. Israel won't comment. The pagers were initially thought to have come from Taiwan, but it's now suggested they were manufactured under license in Hungary.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Sean Diddy Combs spent another night in jail, though the rapper and music producer will try again to be freed at a hearing today.
Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo says he's appealing a judge's decision to deny Sean Diddy Combs bail.
He's doing fine. He's a fighter. He's a fighter, and he's going to fight this.
Combs pleading not guilty to racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking charges, accused of using his media empire to control and carry out criminal activity.
That's Fox's Kristen Goodwin. America's listening to Fox News.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Jerry Paget, the second enlisted in the U.S. Navy and deployed multiple times to Iraq and Afghanistan until Jerry was catastrophically injured in an improvised explosive device blast. Now, Jerry received a new smart home thanks to our friends at the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Now, the home is in the foundation's Let Us Do Good Village. It's in Florida, and Jerry now lives more independently thanks to the specially adaptive technologies. Commit to $11 a month, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Congress is on the clock to pass a spending bill by October 1st. If not, there will be a partial government shutdown. House Speaker Mike Johnson has set a vote for today on his plan for 6 months of funding.
With a bill attached that would require proof of citizenship to vote in federal elections, Johnson says Congress has, quote, an immediate obligation to do 2 things, responsibly fund the federal government and ensure the security of our elections. The Speaker pulled a bill last week after pushback from both Democrats and Republicans who argue a 6-month extension would hurt national security and instead argue for a short-term extension that allows Congress to negotiate a full budget. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
In the Senate, a vote to advance an IVF protection bill fails. It aimed to establish a federal right to in vitro fertilization. Democratic Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says,
our bill makes IVF a basic right for all. It assures insurance companies cover IVF, making it more accessible for millions more Americans to expand their families.
Now, most Republicans voted against it, arguing this is just an election year politics, that IVF is legal in every state. For the first time in 4 years, the Federal Reserve is expected today to announce an interest rate cut after hiking rates to reduce surging inflation. Some predict a 0.25%, others a 0.5-point cut. 3 Democrats in the Senate wrote the Fed chairman a letter wanting an even bigger cut.
Senators Elizabeth Warren, John Hickenlooper, as well as Sheldon Whitehouse wrote saying that the Federal Reserve should reduce interest rates by 75 basis points. Also in that letter saying, quote, if the Fed is too cautious in cutting rates, it would needlessly risk our economy heading towards a recession.
Fox Business Network's Edward Lawrence. On Wall Street ahead of the Fed's rate cut decision, stock futures are up honestly after a mixed day. The Dow dropped 15 points, but the Nasdaq gained 35. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time. 7:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. Utica police say the new shot spotter is already making a difference by detecting a shots fired incident on South Street that had not been reported. Police say the gunshots would have gone undetected otherwise. Authorities say they found 4 spent 9mm shell casings and found one of the bullets struck a garage. Police are investigating the incident. ShotSpotter was introduced this week and monitors a 2-square-mile radius in the city prone to gun violence. It activates when it detects gunfire and alerts police. A recent finding reports 80% of all shots fired incidents go unreported. Utica police charged a 15-year-old juvenile for gun possession. Police say they encountered a group of individuals familiar to them while patrolling Court Street on August 27th. Police say the group consisted of mostly juveniles drinking alcohol, and they fled when officers approached. Police were able to apprehend many of them and used K-9 units to sweep the path they fled. Officers said they found a discarded handgun that was loaded. They were able to positively identify who dropped the gun and charged a 15-year-old whose identity is being withheld with criminal possession of weapon and firearms charges. Herkimer police are warning residents of several scams in town. One is a blackmailing attempt where criminals seemingly share photos of a victim's home and threaten to expose terrible information about them if they don't pay a ransom. Police are urging residents to ignore the emails and report them to federal authorities. Another scam sees criminals calling residents and claiming police are searching for them. Herkimer police say they never contact residents directly and that you should just hang up. A new restaurant is coming to Clinton. The Lucky Dog Bistro is moving near the Village Green, and the restaurant will serve artisanal sandwiches, soups, pastries, and more. The Lucky Dog Bistro will also have menus for those with food sensitivities, restrictions, and allergies like lactose intolerance, celiac disease, and more. The bistro says it'll operate 7 days a week for breakfast and lunch. It's set to open at 4 College Street next month. The bistro is owned by Alyssa Williams, who also runs City Cafe in Whitesboro. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time, 7:07. Your weather forecast is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. For today, we'll see sunny skies with a high in the low 80s. Mostly cloudy overnight with a low in the upper 50s. Then sunshine returns tomorrow with a high in the low 80s. It will be nice throughout the weekend with temperatures ranging anywhere from the low 70s to low 80s. Right now, we're at 59 degrees under cloudy skies at 7:08. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. The New York Yankees opened their series against the Mariners with an 11-2 win at T-Mobile Park. Luis Gil was credited with the victory after striking out 5 and allowing 1 run over 5 innings pitched. Juan Soto and Jason Dominguez each went deep. Aaron Judge went 2 for 4 at the dish with 4 runs batted in. New York is now leading the AL East at 88-63 and will continue its series tonight in Seattle. And yes, Richard, I was wrong. I thought it was only 1 more that he needed, but Juan Soto has hit a home run in every Major League active baseball park. And unfortunately, as Bill said, he did say it's the perfect thing to go into free agency with. Well, you're not in free agency yet. And the month of August, you were slumping a little bit, but I digress.
Remember the prediction that I made long ago.
Your dumb prediction.
The 4th week of the college. He won't be with the Yankees. He might be with the Mets.
We'll see about that. The fourth week of the college football season is right around the corner. Syracuse is hoping to remain undefeated after improving to 2-0. The Orange are hosting Stanford Friday night.
Davey, what do we know about
their third home game in a row?
What do we know about Stanford? Are they? This should be a win for Syracuse.
Well, they came from the Pac-10 and transferred into the ACC.
Okay, so it's an ACC game.
Yeah, this is a conference game for
All right.
Syracuse. Stanford's been kind of down the last couple years.
This should be a romping by Cuse.
You say romp, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be a competitive game.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we don't want to jinx them or
that, by the way, is a
too big for our britches.
7:00 game, I believe, on Friday night. Am I right?
Yep, on the mothership, ESPN.
ESPN.
And they're saying there's only 200 level seats and 300 level seats available. The 100 level are all sold out. So they're anticipating a big crowd.
That's really, it's been a while.
Yeah.
People are getting excited about this team. Andrew, any other sports to report?
Well, yeah, Miami Dolphins star quarterback Tua Tagovailoa is reportedly being placed on injured reserve. He suffered that concussion in Miami's loss to Buffalo Thursday night. It marked his fourth diagnosed concussion in the last 5 years. Tagovailoa will be eligible to come off IR in Week 8 when the Dolphins are set to play the Cardinals. The Dolphins have not set a timetable for the quarterback's return, and the Chiefs are reuniting with former running back Kareem Hunt in the absence of Isaiah Pacheco, who suffered a broken fibula in Week 2. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:11.
All right, Richard, tell Andrew Boone is one of the best managers in baseball. He can manage my Mets anytime. Hey, Andrew, his team has the best record in the AL and almost the best in baseball.
In spite of him and his stupid decision-making.
Not bad for a lousy manager. You're clueless how baseball works today. Most decisions come from the top down. Boone is, according to Richard.
So Cashman makes the in-game decisions who to put in as relief.
Well, I think
to keep Clay Holmes Clay Holmes as the closer position halfway through the season.
Let me specifically talk about Clay Holmes. That this is the part where I'll agree with Richard. You invest a lot of money in your closer, and what will happen oftentimes is the front office will say, "Listen, we got to give him a chance to get the cobwebs out of his head." So, don't put him in a bad place, but, keep going with him, help him build his confidence up. We've invested a lot in this guy.
Okay, so it's management's responsibility to do that.
Listen, I'm not done. I'm saying if that comes from the front office to the manager in today's baseball, this isn't the year of Billy Martin when he would say, "Screw you, I'm not doing it." It's analytics, they follow, and it's investment. And I'm not saying this happened, but I'm saying that sort of thing does happen in baseball today.
You've got players who make stupid errors. They don't hustle on bases. Gleyber Torres, Alex Verdugo.
Do we need to get on this road?
If Richard's saying that,
well, I'm just saying.
He's making claim as a Mets fan. He has no clue about anything.
Let his statement stand, and we all know yours.
A stupid statement.
Because we've heard it over and over again since April.
Well, I agree with Andrew.
Okay.
Aaron Boone is not right for this team.
Already.
He's going to cost us. No wonder, Richard should be happy because his stupid managerial decisions are going to drive Soto to the Mets.
Coming up. We're going to count him down with Mighty John, the record guy, who's coming on in just a little while. Before that, though, I want to talk about the amazing week. Man, I got to tell you, everything that's going on in downtown Utica right now is you build it and the idea they will come. And look at what's happening. We had the Women's World Championships in hockey, and that was enormous for the area. And now we're looking at hustle and bustle back downtown. 28 countries are converging on the city of Utica beginning this Friday for the Box Lacrosse World Championships. We'll speak with Rob Esch about that. And Team USA, by the way, will start things off in round number 1 on Friday. The women play at 4. The men will play at 8 p.m. at the Adirondack Bank Center. Tickets are available. You can go online and check it out, but we'll speak with Rob about everything that is happening this week. Really exciting week in the next week and a half for the region. It's going to be big. with lacrosse from the world, around the world, in town. Coming up at WIBX.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton of Hilton Estate and Elder Law with important information that you should know about planning for nursing home care. Well, the best way, of course, is to plan ahead. The key is to make sure that you make decisions far ahead of the time that you need a nursing home. Getting the basic pieces in place, including power of attorney, healthcare proxy, will, trust, all those things, and working closely with your family to make sure you're organized and ready to go in case the worst happens. You should also know there are strategies you can employ, even if you currently have a loved one in a nursing home. When there's a crisis and someone's entered a nursing home, there are things we can do to act very quickly to protect some of the assets. It really does require that an elder law attorney be involved because the techniques that are used are very technical in nature. To find out more about strategies to protect your loved ones through proper estate planning, contact us at Hilton Estate and Elder Law. Call for more information and to schedule an in-person meeting to answer your questions.
Hilton, you know the name, they know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
Hi, this is Paul Collis from Fred F. Collis & Sons with some exciting news about NYSERDA's Empower Plus program. This program provides our income-eligible customers with free home energy upgrades like insulation, heat pumps, and hybrid water heaters. As an example, a family of four making under $93,000 can qualify for between $5,000 and $24,000 in free upgrades. Count on Collis to improve your comfort and start the process by scheduling your free home energy assessment at fredfcollis.com.
Are you a human service professional who finds strengths in every family and potential within every child? Consider becoming a caseworker with the Oneida County Department of Family and Community Services. You will receive a generous starting salary of over $55,000, a comprehensive benefits package, and annual salary increases, all while working a 35-hour work week. Oneida County is filling several entry-level caseworker positions on their dynamic casework team right now, and no civil service test is required. For information and application, head to OneidaCountyJobs.com.
On September 20th, our community will hold Mohawk Valley Gives, a 24-hour day of giving to benefit area nonprofits. Join us at givemb.org and let's show everybody that Mohawk Valley gives.
This is Bill Cole from Gates Cole Insurance. Finding insurance coverage can be an overwhelming undertaking. As your local independent insurance company, we work hard for you to get the best coverage.
My name is Timothy Dean. I'm from Taberg, New York. I have Dean's Concessions. I travel throughout New York State. I have been a customer for over 20 years, personal, with Gates Cole. And ever since I've started my business for the last 18 years have been solely with Gates Cole Insurance. As I have to call them from time to time to get certificates, and they take in within 15-20 minutes. We have a certificate. Gates Cole has exceptional customer service. They're there for you, and I have referred people to Gates Cole, and those people that have transferred over to Gates Cole have been very happy with their services.
This is Tom Cole. For insurance for your home, auto, business, and just about everything else, trust your local independent insurance agency. Gates Cole Insurance. We'll take care of you.
Hey everyone, Lisa here from Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and Clinton. Are you ready to fall back into that fitness routine? As the seasons transform, why not transform your fitness goals too? Here at Fit Body Boot Camp, we can help you create those healthy habits, and yes, our coaches are ready to help you lose the weight for the very last time. What are you waiting for? Join us today for free because we are the best of the best fitness center for 3 years in a row. Call us or find us on Facebook to start your journey.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is actual footage of Bill Keeler doing a radio show on WIBX. Sadly, his career was found in a heavily wooded area. If you know the person or persons who ended the radio career of Bill Keeler, please tell them thanks on behalf of the people of Central New York.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, we're just talking about this, how amazing this is going to be for the area and the region. As the World Lacrosse Box Championships for 2024 come to Utica, and I'm assuming several of the teams are probably already here, 28 countries will be competing, including the United States, and then the women as well. So you can imagine what kind of boost this gives us here this fall. Pretty exciting.
Incredible.
Rob Esch is on the line right now. Of course, Rob and the Comets and everybody at Mohawk Valley Entertainment are. I think I screwed that up. I'm sorry, Rob. I think I screwed that up.
It's still early, Rob. Come on.
Listen, I get up way early in the morning. My mind is fried by 7 a.m. So here we are.
I think Mohawk Valley Garden.
Thank you. Which is very entertaining. But Rob, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
So this is just so incredibly exciting. 28 countries. I mean, we saw what the women championships in hockey did for the area. I mean, this is even bigger than that.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. There's over, like you said, there's 28 countries, 38 teams, 28 men's, 10 women's. The first time they're doing the women's championships too together. But we have 1,200 athletes that got into town the last few days. Since Sunday, they've been getting in. And I believe all of them, everybody should be here by noon today, missing a few teams. But outside that, it's, they're throughout all of downtown. It's a little bit different than the Women's World Championships where everybody was housed out at the casino. This one, they're housed out through New Hartford and all of downtown and parts of Rome.
So if you need a hotel room in the area this weekend, good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah, don't blame me, though.
So, I mean, just look at what the creation of Nexus, and I mean, it was a long time getting there, and we lived through COVID during it all. But number one, how beautiful it looks. I was just taking some pictures of it for a TV commercial the other day, as a matter of fact. And how beautiful the whole thing looks down there. But it's bringing, I mean, it is busy from morning till night, almost every single day, and now this. It's incredible.
Yeah, I think it's, it's definitely exceeded my wildest dreams. I kind of always looked at it as, this youth tournament house for the weekends and things of that nature. But when you have the likes of the Women's World Championships come in, you have the World Lacrosse come in, you have these long events, it really shows, this thing's just kind of starting to stretch its legs. And, I'm obviously honored to be a small part of it.
And so it's just incredible, and that's always only going to make people talk about it and let other people know about it, and people want to host their tournaments here as well. But it's just kind of funny to look back around COVID time when so long we had to just look at that steel shell, and now it's here and thriving, and it's just we've come a long way with it.
Yeah, I think Tony and myself went through a lot of sleepless nights, that's for sure, along with the Audit Authority and legislators. But ultimately, we got the exact end result that everybody wanted. And I think what's even really cooler is, the Women's World Championships kind of put us on a global stage. This Box Lacrosse World Championships, we're going to be on ESPN as well. So I think it's really highlights the whole community. It highlights, the county, obviously the campus that is starting to grow down here, and just everything, how everybody's kind of come together on it.
When you say the campus that is starting to grow, I think that's important to talk about. And we were talking to Tony Pacini about it just the other day. It's like, okay, all of this, a base has now been built, and now it allows for more investment, outside investment, and you'll see it. The next step is watching this grow around all of this progress, I feel.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of properties in and around here that, Tony and, the legislators have, kind of viewed as a very cool, sports and recreation entertainment zone, and it kind of segues into Bag Square West and East and all the way up to the Thruway Exchange and all the stuff that's went on with the hospital, the cardiology center, the parking garage. I mean, it's really endless, all the stuff that is happening, but there's still a lot to go, which I think is really kind of neat.
Yeah, for things to more things to do. Obviously, Harbor Point is something that is moving in the right direction, it seems.
Yeah, that's been my next focus is Harbor Point with their Harbor Point LDC there. Vin Gilroy's done a terrific job. So, I mean, we've worked on that for a long time. There's a lot of moving parts, brownfields, all those different things that you have to check the boxes on. But right now, I think, everything's kind of put in the rear view mirror, so to speak. So I'm really looking forward to, getting involved in that and really watching this area, continue to grow. And I think with all these athletes coming in, what's really neat is it's another sector of industry that we didn't have here in the sports tourism sector that I really think allows, the community to look at things, a touch differently, which, I think it's great having all these kids come in here and competing at a high level, staying at the hotels, going to the restaurants, and things of that nature. I think it just adds to the overall tourism.
You remember, I would assume as a kid when you were, when you were going off to a hockey town and it meant something. There was a championship game there. I'm assuming that gave you a positive reflection on that community. I'm not sure what that town was for you. Probably several of those towns when you were a kid.
I think for me it was, quite honestly, I went to a lot of places, as you said, lived all over Russia and everything else. But for me, it was Philadelphia. I love Mr. Snyder. He passed away a few years ago, but he was my owner there with the Flyers. And, that whole compound down there, whether it was, Lincoln Financial, Citizens Bank Ballpark, Wells Fargo's, all of it was this big campus. And right next to it was South Philly. And its suburbs were strong. I mean, everything about it was really cool and exciting, and the whole area galvanized around the sports teams. And honestly, I think that's kind of what's happened here over the course of the last 12 years.
Yeah, boy, Philly,
No doubt about it.
they're loyal to their sports teams. How about the fact that I just saw that Jim Jackson's son and Bernadette's son has been added to one of the coaches for the Junior Comets. That's Jim Jackson, of course, was a radio announcer here for the Devils, and then went on and Emmy Award-winning legendary broadcaster in Philadelphia.
Yeah, Johnny, we hired Johnny over the summer. He interviewed extremely well. So to be honest, it's all based on his merit. I am very, friends with, Bernadette and Jim, but he did a terrific job. He's going to be a terrific young coach. He's starting under Louis Edgicati. He's going to be coaching the premier team, and I'm looking forward to watching and working with him over the course of the next little bit.
All right, what do you want people to know about this week and tickets and what's going to be going on for lacrosse this week?
Well, I think the easiest thing is it's not the Women's World Championships. It's more of a festival. Everything's contained inside. You can go to all the games. So they sell day packages on EmpireStateTix.com. It's the World Lacrosse Tournament, so there's 16 games a day.
Wow.
There's 128 games. Yeah, so there's 4 going on at Rink 3, 4 going on at Rink 2, 4 going on at Rink 1, and then the big games are predominantly in the Adirondack Bank Center. So there's always games going on. We have vendors and things like that set out in Nexus, and you can mill around from rink to rink. So I think it's actually going to be very, very fun to watch. There's some top teams to watch out there, obviously USA being one of them, but Canada, Haudenosaunee, and Israel are projected to be the top 4 teams. The men start off on Friday. Opening ceremonies are Friday at 6:30. And then the women play Haudenosaunee on Saturday. And I guess the other thing is really cool, working with Turning Stone Resort and Casino, the Mary C. Winder Community Center out there on Tuesday the 24th. We'll have some big games, USA, Canada, and Haudenosaunee in England. So that's going to be exciting up there. It's going to be a real small atmosphere. So
yeah, that's cool.
I think that'll make it electric.
Haudenosaunee is for those that we kind of wondered this morning, and it's the people of the Longhouse, the Iroquois. So based in Onondaga County, it is which is where this sport was born, right?
Yeah.
Out of the Iroquois League.
Yeah, correct. I mean, the one thing I will say is I do understand that to be factual. I am definitely well more versed in hockey than lacrosse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do know that to my, basically what I've been told in the course of the last years we've been planning it, it's literally the highest level of, indoor lacrosse that you're going to have. All the players that play in the NLL are playing for their countries and representing their countries. It's going to be, I think massively exciting. It kind of seems to me that it reminds me very similarly to, hockey, the way that they play, the fighting, the intensity. It should be exciting.
Yeah. All right, we're looking forward to it. It begins on Friday. You're going to start to see the hustle and bustle downtown.
Oh, yeah.
And throughout the area. And I do have one message from Donna. This is for you, Rob. There is not one room available. We have a family wedding. Those that waited until the last minute did not get a room. You snooze,
awesome.
you lose. It is good.
I'm sorry.
But you know what, Rob? I got to tell you, it's like people complaining about traffic because of progress. The reality is, when you try to get a hotel room in other cities, you sometimes get booked out. It happens here now, and that's a cool thing. I think it's a positive. So there you go.
Yeah, it is. Thanks for having me, and very sorry to Donna.
Okay. All right, Rob. Thanks so much.
Have a good day.
All right, Rob Esch with the Comets, and of course this incredible tournament this week. There's no other way to look at it except it is a result of everything that they all did, and it's pretty darn cool.
Indeed, and there's more to come.
Yeah. Got a break. Coming up, we'll do Habaika's free money question of the day. Mighty John, the record guy, is on. If you have any records, and Davey, I know you're a vinyl collector. What's your favorite record, Davey? I bet you probably have some crazy WWF record that is, some of the wrestlers
It's got all my
performing
stuff. Huh.
Do you have any of that?
No, you're wrong on that.
Oh, okay.
I have the CD of that, what you're talking about, but I don't have it on vinyl.
You don't have it on vinyl. But you have vinyl records, right?
Yes, I do.
What is your most treasured vinyl record?
A couple Elvises.
Mm-hmm. Oh. We're going to talk about one of the Elvises somebody has a question about here today, and that includes the Moody Blue album, which was the final album that before he died that was out. And I guess the story, the way it goes, is they were issuing it in blue vinyl, like a clear blue. And then they got done with it, and they switched it to black. So it was just the first few copies that were going to be blue. And they switched it to the regular black vinyl. And then Elvis died. So the RCA was like, all right, we're going to go back. Let's do the blue. We're going to push out the blue. So they stopped. It was only a short time they were producing the black vinyl album. So they stopped and started producing the blue album. So that means there are a ton of blue vinyl records out there, but only a few of the black vinyl. The black vinyl is the one that's actually worth something.
You probably have a blue vinyl.
Right up until the point that Andrew sang Elvis.
So
it's now worth nothing.
So did the World Wrestling Federation ever put out any other albums out on vinyl?
I have no idea.
The World Wildlife Foundation did.
I took a wild stab on that. So, but you have a CD.
Yes.
Yeah. And you also are bringing in you're bringing in a basketball player.
How about Davey, as producer Davey, bringing in his biggest guest of the
ever
history?
Yeah, you are, aren't you?
You want to announce that?
Do you want to announce it or do you want to wait?
You can announce it.
So on October 4th, during the 8 o'clock hour, we have WNBA superstar, LSU national champion, one half Angel Reese is going to be coming into our studios here on River
That's
Road.
pretty darn huge.
That's awesome. And Olympian.
Olympian.
Yep. That's enormous.
Gold medalist.
So
won the gold, didn't
Yes.
she'll be in studio next week.
On the 4th of October.
I'm sorry, the following week.
Yes.
So not next week. So that's pretty darn cool.
Gold medalist, national champion, WNBA superstar in our studios.
Yes, it's enormous. Nice job, Davey.
Thank
and
you.
then Davey, of course, arranged for the appearance of Jimmy Fallon to come to Rome's Capitol Theater.
I didn't do that. You did.
Well, happening on November the 6th. It is our 99th birthday. This radio station is 99 years old. If you go over to the old building, you can smell it. It's 99 years old. And Jimmy comes in to do his show. It's just Jimmy. We'll have a few other comedians as well, but it's Jimmy on stage doing what he does best, making people laugh. It is an amazing show if you haven't seen it. If you have, you know it's amazing. You want to be. I just think it's great to be doing it at the Capitol Theater, and portions of the proceeds will go to benefit the Tornado Relief Fund. And tickets go on sale tomorrow.
That is exciting.
At 10 a.m., you can go to the Capitol Theater's box office, or you can go to the Capitol Theater's website to purchase tickets. Get them early. There are tickets ranging from $47 to the really nice seats up. I think the first 5 rows, the ticket price is like $67, but you're right up front to see Jimmy at the Capitol Theater. And Davey approved.
So my buddy who's bringing Angel in here on the 4th says she wants to try Utica greens, tomato pie, and Briggies. So we'll have to get some tomato pie for her.
Love it. And she's not that tall.
No.
Unless she's standing up next to me.
Yes.
And then she looks really...
Yeah, she'll look very tall.
To all of us.
To all of us.
Yeah.
You see his backpedal on that?
Yeah.
She'll look tall
to all of us. Yeah. All right. I'm excited about that, Davey. Nice grab.
Thank you, Bill.
Great job. And then if I could, about I took Rob's pronunciation, the Haudenosaunee. That is the people of the Longhouse, the Iroquois, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. They have a team that includes some of the best lacrosse players, and the sport is native to the Iroquois Nation, native to the Oneidas. And that is, so when you see they're playing with countries around the world as well, including the United States. And it's pretty exciting. So there you go. All right, $200 on the line for Hobica's free money question of the day. Got a great question for today. And Davey, you're looking for caller number what?
Caller number 6.
Number 6, 315-736-0186. Call right now. Be the 6th caller, 315-736-0186. Your chance to win right now from Hobica and WIBX.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
800-908-3084. That's 800-908-3084.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
It's truck season at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer. Lease a 2024 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT 4-wheel drive All-Star Edition. 3 years, 10,000 miles per year, $499 a month. Or purchase with over $8,000 in savings. Need a heavy-duty truck? We've got a great selection in 3/4 and 1-ton trucks to choose from, with more arriving daily. Financing available 5.9% up to 84 months. Visit us on Route 28 in Herkimer or at StevePawneeChevy.com. Hurry, these offers end September 30th, 2024. Together, let's drive with Steve Pawnee Chevrolet. Stop in and see why it's always easy to do business at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet.
Customers must qualify with top-tier credit through GM Financial. Offers are available on select models only. Lease offers require a current Chevy lease through GM Financial, and finance offers require a 2010 or newer Chevrolet trade-in. All taxes, fees, and the first payment are due on delivery. See salesperson for details.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
When we get together with others, we can do more. On September 20th, our community will hold Mohawk Valley Gives, a 24-hour day of giving to benefit area nonprofits. Your donation will help hundreds of nonprofit organizations meet our community's greatest needs, and every dollar counts. Join us on September 20th at givemb.org, and let's show everybody that Mohawk Valley gives.
Powered by the Community Foundation and Enough Mobility Foundation, proudly sponsored by Staffworks and M&T Bank, and brought to you by Town Square Media.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code SUPPORT, or text SUPPORT to 511-511 and claim 40% off. roundhouseprovisions.com, code SUPPORT.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text SUPPORT to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Carl's massive overstock clearance sale. Recliners from $199. Sofa and love seats from $299 each. Bedroom $799 or less. My Carl's New Hartford Shopping Center. Carl's massive overstock clearance sale. Recliners from $199. Sofa and love seats from $299 each. Bedroom $799 or less. My Carl's New Hartford Shopping Center.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Coming up, we'll talk to Mighty John, the record guy. Do you have a piece of vinyl, a record, a 45, a 33, 78 even, that you think might be worth some dough? John can give you the value right on the spot. So you can be ready to call in with that if you'd like. And we're also going to talk about this. Somebody has a question about this one. Ooh, and I can feel. This is from the album Moody Blue, Elvis. Way down where the music plays. Okay, I don't want to play anymore. We'll get in trouble with YouTube. Nonetheless, that is one of those records that has some value to it. We're going to do 10 records that are valued over $100 for September, coming up with Mighty John, the record guy. Speaking of John, we have John and Remsen ready to take a shot at Habaika's free money question of the day. John, good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
You ready to go here, man?
Yes, sir.
All right, just to let you know, this is a year question. So I decided to add in, just to make it a little easier, add in within 3 years.
Okay.
So if the
you're
number,
giving him some leeway
if the
here.
number was 100, 101, 101, 2, and 3, or 97, 98, 99 would also work. All right. Does that make sense? I want to give his money. I want John.
Just mail it to him.
I want to just give the money
just
away.
mail it to
All
him.
right, we'll just mail it to him. Perfect.
No question
Screw
necessary.
the contest. We'll start telling him we're doing the contest, but we're not. All right, here we go. You'll have 7 seconds to answer. Here is your question. Today is National Hamburger Day. The hamburger was created in America in 1900, the year 1900. Within 3 years, how many years did it take for us to add cheese to the burger? How many years? Ready, go.
20 years.
What did you missed it actually? But what did you say?
32 years.
32 years. Well, you're close. You're in the ballpark, but it's not 32. 1926. A kid working at his dad's hamburger restaurant dropped a piece. Adopted. Actually, it was.
28 first.
You did.
He did start to say 20, but then
I
started buzzer.
All right. All I can tell you is the only answer that I heard was 30. You said 28?
I said 28 initially, and then he said, no, you're wrong. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll go up to 32.
I didn't say you're wrong. You said you started to say the answer. The buzzer, came
went
in.
Off, yeah.
Was the
all
time.
Right. We're going to go to Habaika on this to see, and if it works out, we'll be sending you $200, okay? Either way, we're going to give you the all-in-one food and fun card. It's a $25 gift card which could be used at the lacrosse tournament this weekend, as a matter of fact.
Yes,
so I'm going to have Davey
get a burger there.
I'm going to have Davey get the information, and then we'll decide on you and let you know later today, okay?
Yeah.
All right, John.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't have said 32. You should have stayed with your number.
Well, I lied the second time. I should have, but whatever.
What are you gonna do? All right. Hold on. Stand by. Davey's got you covered. What do you say with something like this? What do we do? I mean, the problem is
the buzzer. I
for
mean,
everybody. I know.
The answer has to be in before the buzzer.
It does.
And you know me, I'm usually the one that's
I
lenient
know,
on this stuff.
I know. Famous quote from Habaika: "You either follow the rules or I'm pulling the money." We'll go back and listen to that. All right.
We'll pull out.
John was going to say whatever he could.
Yeah, right.
I understand. Speaking of John, Mighty John, the record guy, is America's foremost expert on records, vinyl. You go to moneymusic.com is the website. I have the amazing catalog, which has over 1 million records and their values on the catalog. It's sent to you on a thumb drive. You plug it in, and boom. John, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning, Bill. Always great to be with you.
Let's start with for the month. And by the way, if anybody has any you want to throw in here, call Davey right now at 315-736-0186, and we'll get a value for you on the spot. I have a couple that we have had asked about here. And let's start with the month of September. Records that are worth more than $100. What do we have?
Well, we have the Delphonics, big hit for them. La 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 means I love you. Now, the value not for the 45, but for the album, currently up to $100.
Can I ask you on these? We always talk about the picture sleeve for 45s. What about the album covers for an album and their value?
Generally, it's a 50-50 split in value.
Okay.
There are exceptions where the cover is worth more money, but generally a 50-50 split.
Okay, it shows you how much that cover is worth. It's really incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, next up.
Well, get the Beatles, the Ballad of John and Yoko. Now, this 45 with its picture sleeve, up to $125, $100 of that just for the picture sleeve. Wow. Yeah. So, how about Elvis Costello? My Aim Is True. The value for the picture disc version, Elvis Costello's picture right on the vinyl itself, currently up to $150.
All right.
Carpenters, their first album was called Offering, which featured their first hit, which was what, Bill?
Their first hit was, I was not a Carpenters fan. It was, I don't know.
Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride.
Okay, did not know that.
Yeah, Offering, the album, Carpenters, up to $200.
All right.
1996, REM, New Adventures in Hi-Fi. That album, currently up to $200. 1993, 12-inch single for Ace of Base, Don't Turn Around. Current value up to $300.
Wow.
Cream, last album with Eric Clapton, Goodbye Cream. Value depends on the color of the label on the record. Yellow label, $25. Pink and tan label, Goodbye Cream, up to $400.
Wow.
The other Elvis, always worth money. Elvis Presley, Are You Lonesome Tonight? This was a number one hit for Elvis. Mono copy, up to $20. Stereo copy, up to
That is, this gives you the complexity of what records are worth, right? There are so many different. They'll do different releases, or they'll change things a little bit, and it's those unique little changes that actually make one record more valuable than the other.
Right, and that's why in the guide that we put out, we list all records with all their changes, so you know exactly.
Okay.
Well, and it's
which
just
copy
like
you have.
you would think too, like the popularity of certain artists. Like, how does Ace of Base have a more valuable record than, say, I don't know, certain Elvis records? But it's just there's all the subtle nuances. It's just interesting.
Yeah. But that's it for Ace of Base. But every Elvis record is worth money. So, Neil Diamond, this is interesting. I saw one pop up on the internet, so I thought I'd bring it up. In 1976, Neil Diamond recorded a song with his son's grade school class. They recorded it in the studio. 40 copies were made. Neil Diamond autographed each one. And they sell, if you find one, it's called We Wrote a Song Together. Currently up to $2,000.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
And it's worth $2,000. That is cool. All right.
And it goes on and on. It's like an hour long. It's,
Wow,
but finally at the end, they finally sing the song.
That is wild. All right. Next up, we go to the big money now.
Well, I thought I'd bring this up. I think we might have mentioned it one time before on a show, but we just had the Democratic Convention, and I thought I'd mention the most rioted Democratic Convention happened in Chicago in 1968. And Mayor Daley of Chicago actually forbid local radio stations from playing Street Fighting Man, fearing it would cause more riots. But the song wasn't even meant about the riots, but became identified with them and made it a big collectible. Street Fighting Man, the record by itself, $10. The picture sleeve, current value up to $18,000.
Wow. And again, you never know when you're walking through where somebody doesn't know,
right?
An estate sale or whatever, and all of a sudden you pick something up, and it's worth $18,000.
That's insane.
That's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, the record appraisal guide that we put out that you have, we didn't really do it for record collectors. We did it for basically people who were seeking treasures at yard sales and flea markets, and estate sales and thrift stores. That's what it's for.
Yeah, love it. And I have it, and it's what do you sell it for? It's inexpensive.
$24.95.
$24.95. It's sent to you. It's on a thumb drive, and it's yours. It's really
could
cool.
lead you to the discovery of an $18,000 picture sleeve in your basement.
What was the in the Beatles, the White Album that had the pictures inside of the Beatles?
The pictures inside?
Yeah.
Are you thinking of the butcher cover?
Maybe that was what it was. It had the 8 by 10s or whatever of John.
Oh, yeah, the White Album did have
the White Album,
pictures inside. Yeah, the poster and 8 by 10s. That average value on it's up to about $300.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty darn
cool. It's
cool.
actually called the Beatles, but people refer it as the White Album.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I have somebody asking about an original copy of Fleetwood Mac Rumors.
Not a big collectible, maybe $20. The big one for Fleetwood Mac is Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac, that first album, and that'll go up to about $100.
Somebody asking about best of. Julie, best of albums. I would say best of. Are there any worth anything?
Well, it all depends on the recording artist, but generally, when you get to the best of, they are. They're not the original release. They're original releases, but they're re-releases. Yeah.
Right. And then I had somebody previously ask about the Moody Blue album. So we've always talked, and I think you had this on quite some time ago, where the blue vinyl is now worth, but maybe $10, but the black vinyl is, and they say that they have a chance to buy, but there are several different labels. Which one of the black vinyl is actually worth something?
Well, the vinyl is where it counts here. So blue vinyl would be up to about $25. Black vinyl, there are 25,000 of them released on black vinyl, and they're worth up to about $250 a piece.
Okay.
Now, if they're green, orange, or white vinyl, then they're up to $1,800.
Wow. And on the black vinyl, what should the label look like? Because I think they might have put out, they did that series of Elvis records that RCA put out. They looked like the originals, but they weren't. And it seems like there's two versions of the Black Vinyl album out there.
As far as the Moody Blue, I'm not familiar with any other version. They did it on a lot of 45s. They re-released many of them and sold them like for $10 a piece when an original is worth up to $50 to $100. But as far as Moody Blue, I don't know of any variation on the label on Moody Blue.
Okay, so if you see Black Vinyl, pick it up.
I would.
Yep. All right. Again, it's
but
money.
If that person wants to send me a picture of it, I can give them a better answer at no charge.
All right. I will ask on that, and maybe we'll do a little story about it as well. So, all right. Good stuff, John, as we appreciate it. Thank you. It's moneymusic.com. Get this this guide. It has it's like over 1 million records. It is really, really amazing and inexpensive. John, as always, we appreciate it. The website is moneymusic.com.
Thanks, Bill.
All right, thanks so much. Mighty John, the record guy. Personally, I love vinyl.
Great sound.
And I know it is, and they will say that when you hear a record played, whether it's and say it's a song, and you hear the CD, a digital version of it, or you play the vinyl version, the first spin of the vinyl version. So the first time you play it is the most amazing sound as compared to what you'd hear on a CD.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I can hear that. Maybe my ears have been battered over the years. I'm not sure I can necessarily hear it. But there's just something about that little, after you play it 30 times, you got the little crackle sound, and it's kind of cool to have a turntable. And it's huge with the younger demographic today, but
100%.
They're not. We might have spent $3.99 on a record, or maybe less on an album.
Now they're like $30-40.
$30-40 is what records are. Angelo, our former Angelo, huge vinyl guy, and they pay a ton of money, like $40-50 for records today. It's crazy. All right, a quick break coming up. We'll get into the full. I don't know if you looked at the full forecast, but it is. 80s today, 80s tomorrow, near 80 Friday, mid-70s Saturday, 72 on Sunday.
Then increasingly decreasing.
With sunshine, maybe a little cloudiness, but for the most part, sunshine right on through the weekend. By Tuesday, we might actually see a little bit of rain, but after that, we go back to the mid-70s. So some really amazing weather continuing here as we go through the month of September, and actually wind down on September coming up. All right, news coming up top of the hour, and that full forecast coming up at WIBX.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton of Hilton Estate and Elder Law with important information that you should know regarding your estate planning. Specifically, you should have prepared what is known as the Big Three. Basic estate planning is comprised of the three main documents that you need. First is the will, next is the healthcare proxy, and last is the power of attorney. What most people don't know is how important of the three the power of attorney really is, because New York State has no simple method for you to act on another's behalf if they become incapacitated. I am often asked, what is probate and why is it needed? Probate is the act of administering the will through the New York State court system. It requires a filing fee and other actions to be taken, as well as a petition to be filed. It is time-consuming and can be expensive. It can be avoided by using a living trust. To find out more about strategies to protect your loved ones through proper estate planning, contact us at Hilton Estate and Elder Law. Call for more information and to schedule an in-person meeting to answer your questions.
Hilton, you know the name. They know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
Are you a human service professional who finds strengths in every family and potential within every child? Consider becoming a caseworker with the Oneida County Department of Family and Community Services. You'll receive a generous starting salary of over $55,000, a comprehensive benefits package, and annual salary increases, all while working a 35-hour work week. Oneida County is filling several entry-level caseworker positions on their dynamic caseworker team right now, and no civil service test is required. For information and application, head to OneidaCountyJobs.com.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
I want to tell you about New York Sash and our experience with New York Sash. Windows, actually, somebody the other day said, how many windows do you have in that house? And I said, well, you have to understand that we had windows put in.
You got a lot.
At our old home, there were like 32 windows in that house. And many in where we currently live. And we just, we put in all new New York Sash windows. We prefer them. And it keeps the heat out in the summertime, which is big. But in the winter, it's not drafty. They're easy to open. They're easy to clean. All of that. Love the grids that go on top, the raised grids. It makes it look like classic windows. That's New York Sash. Call them today. 315-843-0424. 315-843-0424. It's New York Sash. New York Sash. Taking care of your family.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome.
W295EI.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
It's up to 12 deaths in Lebanon. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. From all those exploding pagers, 2 of the deaths were children, about 3,000 injured.
The pagers beat before they went off. As a result, a lot of the injuries are to the hands and fingers of the people who reach for their pagers. Injuries are to the eyes and faces of people who looked at their pagers. And, of course, there are injuries to the waist and pocket area where most people would carry their pagers.
Fox's Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv, where Israel is not commenting, but Hezbollah is vowing revenge.
At some point, the pagers were sabotaged and explosive charges as well as switches were installed on each device. The pagers were a Taiwanese brand, Gold Apollo, but the chairman of that company says they licensed the name to a company out of Europe called BAC, who he says made the pagers.
Meanwhile, as the war rages in Gaza, the UN plans a vote today on a Palestinian resolution demanding that Israel leave. Former President Trump held his first event since the second assassination attempt at Town Hall in Flint, Michigan, where he said running for president is a dangerous job, but added he has to keep going or we won't have a country left. He told Fox's Hannity,
"We need more people here for security." And we never seem to get that, and I think we are getting it now.
Now, that talk of more protection is before a Trump rally tonight on New York's Long Island. House Speaker Mike Johnson just told Fox.
I had that conversation with the White House yesterday. I called and demanded that President Trump receive the same level of protection that the sitting president does because he is under such great threat.
Today, the House will vote on a plan to fund the government for 6 months with a controversial attachment
to make sure that illegals cannot vote, non-citizens cannot vote in the upcoming election.
Well, Democrats oppose that. Some Republicans oppose the size of the funding. If none of that's approved, there will be a partial government shutdown in October. An interest rate cut is expected today, the first one since all the rate hikes to bring inflation down. Some analysts expect the Federal Reserve to cut 0.25%. Others think it'll be a 0.5 point. America's listening to Fox News.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
NYPD officer Jonathan Diller's tragic story made national headlines this year. Now, Jonathan was shot and killed by a career criminal during a traffic stop. Jonathan, who's just 31 years old, leaves behind his wife Stephanie and 1-year-old son Ryan. Now, nothing will ever replace the loss of a husband and a father, but the Tunnel to Towers Foundation was able to pay off the mortgage on the Diller family's home. Please commit to $11 a month. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Well, former President Trump wants more security. Vice President Harris said in Philadelphia. She called him after the second assassination attempt.
I told him what I have said publicly. There's no place for political violence in our country.
Harris also accused the former president of hateful rhetoric and claims Haitian migrants are eating pets in Springfield, Ohio.
The vice president yesterday addressing the National Association of Black Journalists pledged to earn the black vote. It comes after a concerning poll for her from the NAACP showing 1 in 4 younger black men supporting Trump. In 2020, about 90% of black voters supported Biden, according to exit polling. Harris yesterday had made an economic pitch focusing on her plans to promote entrepreneurship and access to capital, including including expanding the small business tax deduction from $5,000 to $50,000 and other ways to build generational wealth.
That's Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. Sean Diddy Combs remains jailed in New York City, where the rapper and music producer will try again today to be set free. Appealing bond being rejected as Combs faces sex trafficking and racketeering federal charges. One of two ex-Memphis cops who pleaded guilty to charges related to the beating death of a driver at a traffic stop last year has testified against three others who were also fired afterward.
Emmett Martin III testified that he punched Tyree Nichols at least 5 times while 2 fellow officers held his arms and said hit him. Then he says he lied to his supervisor about their use of force. Martin, who has accepted a plea deal in exchange for his testimony in the federal civil rights case, testified he was at the traffic stop January 7th, 2023, when Nichols, who was black, was pulled over and pulled out of his car. Nichols ran. Martin says 2 other officers chased him and punched him. All 5 officers also face state charges. Lisa Lacera, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are up modestly before the Fed rate cut. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time, 8:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. Right now, 58 degrees under cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by the new Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Utica police say the new Shot Spotter technology is already making a difference by detecting a shots fired incident on South Street that had not been reported. Police say the gunshots would have gone undetected otherwise. Authorities say they found 4 spent 9mm shell casings and found one of the bullets struck a garage. Police are investigating the incident. ShotSpotter was introduced this week and monitors a 2-square-mile area of the city prone to gun violence. It activates when it detects gunfire and alerts police. A recent finding reports 80% of all shots fired incidents go unreported. Utica police charged a 15-year-old juvenile for gun possession. Police say they encountered a group of individuals familiar to them while patrolling Court Street on August 27th. Police said the group consisted of mostly juveniles drinking alcohol, and they fled when officers approached. Police were able to apprehend many of the juveniles and used K-9 units to sweep the path they fled. Officers said they found a discarded handgun that was loaded. They were able to positively identify who dropped the gun and charged a 15-year-old whose identity is withheld with criminal possession of a weapon and firearm. Herkimer police are warning residents of several scams in town. One is the blackmailing attempt, where criminals seemingly share photos of a victim's home and threaten to expose terrible information about them if they don't pay a ransom. Police are urging residents to ignore the emails and report them to federal authorities. Another scam sees criminals calling residents and claiming police are searching for them. Herkimer police say they never contact residents directly and that you should hang up. A Utica man is facing multiple drug charges after officers stopped him for carrying an open container of alcohol on Hobart Street. Utica police say they attempted to stop 44-year-old Remus Hayden, who fled on foot and threw the can to the ground. Officers said the man became combative during the arrest and conducted a search once he was detained. Police say they found a large bag filled with smaller baggies and capsules consistent with crack cocaine. He faces numerous drug and other charges. And thousands are hoping to get a table at suburban Denver's Casa Bonita restaurant, recently reopened by South Park creators Trey Park and Matt Stone. The reservation list opened Monday with 40,000 members of the so-called Founders Club in a virtual queue, followed by nearly 30,000 people in a general queue that afternoon. The restaurant closed because of the pandemic in 2021. It was then bought by Parker and Stone, who chronicled their restaurant adventure in the documentary Casa Bonita, Mi Amor. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM, news time 8:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. For today, we can expect partly sunny skies with a high in the low 80s. Mostly cloudy skies overnight with a low in the upper 50s. Tomorrow, sunshine returns with a high in the low 80s. Friday, sunny with a high in the low 80s. Saturday, partly sunny with a high in the upper 70s. And Sunday looking good, too, with sunny and 75. Right now, we're at 58 degrees under cloudy skies at 8:08. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. Well, the Yankees opened their series against the Mariners with an 11-2 win at T-Mobile Park. Luis Gil was credited with the victory after striking out 5 and allowing only 1 run over 5 innings pitched. Juan Soto and Jason Dominguez each went deep. Juan Soto has now hit a home run in all 30 active ballparks, a feat that he mentioned is good going into free agency on. Well, hopefully he keeps his rear end right in New York, but not with the Mets, the Yankees. Aaron Judge also went 2 for 4 at the dish with 4 runs batted in. New York is now leading the AL East by 4 games at 88-63. They'll continue their series tonight in Seattle. Meanwhile, the Mets have won back-to-back games after blowing out the Washington Nationals 10-1 at Citi Field as the Braves continue to struggle. Tyler McGill earned the victory after striking out 4 batters and allowing an unearned run over 6 innings of work. Francisco Alvarez, Pete Alonso, and Luis Angel Acuna each slugged a home run. New York is now in the final NL wildcard spot at 83-68. They'll look to sweep the series in tonight's finale. The Jets released an updated injury report on Tuesday. Gangrene listed cornerbacks Michael Carter II and DJ Reed as full participants after being considered limited on Monday. Also, running back Breece Hall was once again a full participant. Offensive tackle Tyron Smith was limited, and linebacker C.J. Mosley did not participate. New York is tied for last in the AFC East at 1-1. They'll host the New England Patriots for a divisional matchup on Thursday Night Football. And Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa is reportedly being placed on injured reserve. He suffered a concussion, his 4th of his career, both collegiate and NFL, in Miami's loss to the Buffalo Bills on Thursday Night Football. And the Kansas City Chiefs are reuniting with a former member of their running back room. They're signing veteran tailback Kareem Hunt to the practice squad after the injury to Isaiah Pacheco. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 8:11.
All right, a lot to get to coming up. Tom Powers of Celtic Harp. They're selling that bar. We'll speak with him. Jeremy Rosenthal, the Rosenthal Report, an attorney through Fox News, looking at 3 news topics that are legal cases, and he'll dig through each of them. Ryan Nobles from NBC, all coming up on WIBX.
Get ready for the world's premier box lacrosse event. The World Lacrosse Box Championships are coming to Utica, New York. Witness 28 men's and 10 women's teams from 28 countries compete for the ultimate title. From September 20th to the 29th, experience 133 electrifying games at the Adirondack Bank Center and Utica University Nexus Center. Catch up to 16 games a day with intense action every 45 minutes. And don't miss the vibrant vendor village. Get your tickets now at EmpireStateTix.com.
Shop with confidence at Mattress Express with our brand name low price guarantee. When you buy a mattress at Mattress Express, if you see it advertised locally within 30 days of purchase, bring it to our attention. We simply refund the difference. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code SUPPORT or text SUPPORT to 511-511 and claim 40% off. roundhouseprovisions.com, code SUPPORT.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text SUPPORT to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
I don't like onions. I'm doing paleo. Do they have gluten-free bagels? You can't juggle every food request for a work event, or can you? EasyCater is the all-in-one tech platform that makes it easy to get restaurant catering for work, with options for any group's size, taste, dietary preference, or budget. EasyCater saves your favorite restaurants and orders, which makes reordering a snap. Need to modify an order? No problem. So when it comes to food for work, make it easy on yourself with EasyCater. Start your order at easycater.com.
It's truck season at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer. Lease a 2024 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT 4-wheel drive All-Star Edition, 3 years, 10,000 miles per year, $499 a month. Or purchase with over $8,000 in savings. Need a heavy-duty truck? We've got a great selection in 3-quarter and 1-ton trucks to choose from, with more arriving daily. Financing available 5.9% up to 84 months. Visit us on Route 28 in Herkimer or at StevePawneyChevy.com. Hurry, these offers end September 30th, 2024. Together, let's drive with Steve Pawnee Chevrolet. Stop in and see why it's always easy to do business at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet.
Customers must qualify with top-tier credit through GM Financial. Offers are available on select models only. Lease offers require a current Chevy lease through GM Financial, and finance offers require a 2010 or newer Chevrolet trade-in. All taxes, fees, and the first payment are due on delivery. See salesperson for details.
The Stanley Theater in downtown Utica presents 1964, The Tribute, on Thursday, September 19th. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit thestanley.org.
Don't pass up your chance to save big at Destination Kia of Utica.
With no money down leases on over 400 new Kias.
Like a brand new 2024 Kia Sportage LX all-wheel drive for just $398 a month for 36 months.
And that's with zero down, zero due at inception, even sales tax included.
An all-wheel drive SUV, no money down, $398 per month. Now that's cookie. Make that short drive and choose from 400 new Kias in one location.
So go cookie for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
2024 Kia Sportage LX, STK number 25T0061, MSRP $30,540, 36 month, 30,000 mile lease, 20 cents per mile over, $0 due to inception, $0 security deposit, 8.75% sales tax, and $650 acquisition fee included in payment structure, $400 disposition fee, 720 plus FICO score. Offer expires 9/30/2024.
Hey, Jen. OMG, look how busy it is in here. How'd you get all these customers?
Yeah, this month has been a record breaker for us. For a long time, we had decent business coming in from word of mouth, but we weren't growing. Lately, though, a lot of new folks have been finding us online, and that's made all the difference.
That's terrific. I wish I could figure out how to do that for my shop, but I have no idea where to start.
Just do what I did. It's not as hard as you'd think. Go to mylocalcustomers.com to see exactly how many searches there are for businesses like yours.
Okay, then what?
If you see that there are a good number of clients searching in our area, you'll also get some suggestions for the best way to get their attention.
Do you think there are a lot of people searching for my business?
There's only one way to find out. Go to mylocalcustomers.com. It's quick, easy, and free.
Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free local customer analysis that will show you how many customers are searching online for your type of business. It's quick, easy, and free. Visit mylocalcustomers.com. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
Keeler in the Morning invites you to connect with us through telephonic communication at 315-736-0186. Or use the Call Us button on the WIBX 950 app. For additional contact methodologies, please refer to WIBX950.com.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
All right, so hearing word that the Celtic Harp is now up for sale, and this is a big deal, right?
It is. It is
a legendary location down on Varick Street.
Tom Powers is the owner. He opened it back in the summer of 2009, I believe, and has done tremendous work over the years to build it into what it is today. I mean, even as recent as the last couple of years, really doing a lot for the back outdoor space. Great music there, awesome parties in my drinking days after the Boilermaker. And it's just an awesome place.
Tom, good morning.
Morning, Bill. How are you doing today?
Good. Thanks so much for coming on. And so it's time. I was surprised you made it through COVID, to be honest with you. I mean, it was just such a tough time.
Yeah, COVID. COVID changed a lot of things. Changed a lot of habits of people. You notice that people are out earlier. They tended to learn to be home a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's come back around. You know, we've been blessed. It's been, you know, an amazing 15-year run. So yeah, but you know, yeah, COVID was a catalyst for my eventual falling in love with Florida. You know, when New York State closed us, I went to Florida for 6 weeks and fell in love with you know, the Sunshine State. So that fostered you know, my wanting to move and my wanting to branch off into another career. So you know,
what career are you branching off into?
I'm licensed. I'm a mortgage broker. I'm a mortgage originator.
Nice.
I'm licensed in New York and in Florida. I work for Upstate Premier, and I want the ability to work from my computer and remotely. That and have a lot more freedom. You know, when you work in brick and mortar, even though I have an amazing staff and I've had the same people for years. And my son was involved. He recently went down to Florida, really fell in love with it as well, and said, "Dad, I don't think I want to do this here."
Yeah.
So that's why that's the reason why it's on the market. Is business, knock on wood, has come back. It's been great. We've had a beautiful summer here. I don't plan on moving there permanently. I want to be there most of the year and then up here for the summers and part of the fall. But to be honest with you, no, I mean, things have been really well there. But, you know, with my sons, you know, not wanting to take it over, not something you can do remotely. You can't run it remotely. You just can't, you know. So,
no, I think, although the technology today has really helped.
Without a doubt.
It's amazing how you can put cameras in and, you know, the days of skimming off the top make it pretty difficult to do for a bartender these days.
Yeah, you know, the mom and pop. It's amazing you mentioned it, though, because I actually talked to, you know, the people in the industry, and I'm like, you know, the mom and pops back in the day. Every time you walked in, if they were behind the bar or in the kitchen, they were sitting at the end watching people because they had to.
Yeah.
Now you're right, with all the cameras, POS systems, you can wire into your cameras, you can follow your inventory. And plus, honestly, there's little to no cash anymore. Everyone's using debit and credit cards.
Yeah.
So, you know, the only thing you worry about now is, but the cameras help you so much, is people giving stuff away.
Right.
You know?
Or strong pours or stuff like that.
Yeah. You know, I mean, no one goes in the bank and goes to their buddy or, you know, their friend, "Hey, give me money, give me free money."
Right.
But
I know.
There's a tendency in our industry, like, you know, you didn't put anything in this, I ordered a vodka and soda. I don't taste any vodka. You know, you're like, really, guy? Really?
Right.
Come on.
Right.
You know, you watch them pour it. So,
right. Yeah.
That's what I mean, but that's a given. And, you know, when you train your people and they're with you a long time and they do well, you don't see as much of that. And I've been really blessed over the years to have good people, and good people get rid of people who aren't good.
Yeah.
You know, and really any industry, you know, they root out the bad for you. So I've been blessed. I'm still have an amazing staff. We're going to stay open and operate. I don't see this as a quick transition period because I'm really not in a position where I have to,
Right.
So, you know, it'll be a process, but, you know, and who knows, I may get into it and change my mind. I don't know, Bill, but it was time when my son came back and said, "Dad, I don't think I want to live here. I don't think I want to do this."
Yeah.
It was, you know, it wasn't.
There's something to be said for being, you know, somewhere in December or January, especially January. You know, a lot of people want to be home for the holidays, but you get to January and it's like
concrete skies.
God, you want to see sunshine. I mean, we go weeks and weeks without the sun here. It's just depressing.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you mention that, 'cause I had this conversation the other day. I'm like, listen, I was home last January for 11 straight days. It's the longest period I was home. And I did not see the sun once.
I know.
I'm serious. And I'm not, you know, look, I'm one of those people who I really get, you know, angry with people because they talk our area down.
Yes,
And
I'm the same way.
We do have amazing people. My friends and family here, I'm never leaving this area. I'm not trying to say that. But with that said, I've never had to shovel the heat. I've never slipped and fell on because it was too hot out.
That's right.
My car never slid off the road because the sun, was shining too hard. So there's a lot to be said about that as well.
Yeah.
I'm healthier spiritually, mentally, and physically in Florida. When I come home, I turn my step counter on my phone off because I don't want to see my amount of activity when I'm here.
Right.
Because I'm not outside walking as much in the winter. I'm not doing as much as I am in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I've fallen in love with swimming as well, and I like to swim in the pool every day, and that's not happening here. So there's a lot of reasons. It's not the people. It's not anything other than I found a better quality of life at a certain time of year somewhere else. And that's all.
Well, that's listen.
And if you've seen Tom lately,
it is what you work for.
Yeah, right.
Right. All these years we work for being able to say this is what I want to do with the rest of my life, or at least this is what I want to do with this part of my life. That's what you work for.
You're absolutely right. It gets to a point where you measure, how much time you have left and what you want to do with it. And I had a health scare, and it changed my perspective. I went from a micro to a macro manager. I wasn't going to be over people's shoulders. I hired talented people. I'm going to let them do their job.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look from afar and make sure they're doing it right. So, I look at things from a different perspective now, and I also look at we only have so many days. There was a lot of times where people would ask, like, "Oh, when's the last day you had off?" And I couldn't answer that.
Right. Yeah.
And I've gotten to a point now where I no longer want to have to do that.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Certainly, if you've seen Tom lately, you've seen he's a lot healthier. He looks great. He's lost some weight, not some, a lot, and he's just living his best life, and that's awesome. Any plans, Tom, to maybe have a Celtic Carp South?
Well, it's I'm up for the challenge of the doing the mortgage business, but if you read Ray Kroc's book. He says where I put McDonald's is just as important as McDonald's itself. There's a tremendous amount of growth in Florida as well. I saw 7 cranes putting up buildings on my way to the airport. If you, because I'm more in tune in the real estate industry here and in Florida, there are, the real estate prices are going down in Florida because
they're coming down. Yeah.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons is that COVID, people were able to work remotely, and what you're finding is now offices are pulling them back in.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had one of my neighbors in my building who had to sell because he had to go back, and he's in the finance industry. He had to go back in the office, so they sold and moved back home. But, what you're seeing there is where you are seeing a tremendous amount of growth. I read recently where there are more skyscrapers going up in the greater Miami area than the whole state of California. I double-checked that, and it's true. So, and I talked to people, there's international money. There's a ton of people from the north and the northeast and out west moving to Florida.
You see it a lot.
I'm excited not just for myself, for my son to have, the opportunity, for that kind of growth. Although I'm excited, the Wynn Hospital, what a great addition to our area. I believe it's called Wolf Speed now. What Rob's done with the Odd and Nexus, the Nexus Center's really helped, as with the comments, really helped our business, our area. FX Met Brewery is doing amazing things. Their growth is inspiring. So, I'm really excited about our area as well. But
if you're not if your thing is swimming in the pool every day, and believe me, I bring my laptop out, set it by the pool. That's where I do a ton of work in the summertime because you only have so many days you can enjoy that, and it's gone. So if that's your thing, this area we struggle in this area to be able to fulfill that enjoyment. So I certainly get it. So
I'm a big football fan, and you brought up the pool and being, so yeah, last NFC and AFC championship game, we had a party at the pool's condo, and I brought my TV out with this, with streaming, you can put your TV almost anywhere, and we brought the TV outside, and we put the Wi-Fi speaker up, and we watched the games out at the pool, and we had a barbecue, and I was watching, obviously with the cameras, you can watch anything, and I checked in at home, and I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, this is really nice. Yeah. Even when we don't get, people will be like, well, it's not as cold as it was anymore, and which is absolutely true. But I don't know what you're doing at 41 and rain, because 41 degrees and rain isn't pleasant.
No.
So it might not. It's actually, I would rather it snow, be colder and snow.
Yeah, I agree. The snow is pretty. We still do trivia every Tuesday, and I really enjoy it, and it's brought me a lot of useless knowledge. And one of the things that I've come to understand is that because of the Great Lakes, we, on average, I think it's 210 days a year people get sunshine across the country. Really, South Florida is above that number, even though, we get a lot of rain. Well, it's like 15 minutes, and then the sun comes back out. But here, because of the Great Lakes, we get less. We get about 160 days of sun, and I'm not even sure we get that.
I completely. Yeah, I got to tell you,
this summer's been pretty awesome.
Well, in August, I was disappointed in August, to be honest with you, and and it all gets to the pool because my wife hates heating the pool. It's very expensive. But we heat the pool, and when it's really nice, but this last 2 weeks is abnormal to be able to have blue skies for almost 2 weeks. We don't know what to do with ourselves here, so I do love that. The reality, I'm sure you feel the same way. It doesn't feel like upstate New York when you get 2 weeks of sunshine.
No, it's amazing. And honestly, my favorite part of the year is now. I think God's an amazing artist, and
it's incredible.
Going north this time of year is absolutely stunning. You don't get that in Florida, so I really want the ability to have both. I love this area. I think it's beautiful. This time of year, it is absolutely amazing. We've been blessed with a beautiful September. A really nice summer. So that was great. But once the leaves fall and that chilly rain comes, and
that's it.
You got to put on heavy clothes, and it's no fun.
It's a different deal.
And he got to be a part of Bill's Mafia South Beach for the
boy. I got to tell you,
big game last Thursday.
The Bills travel. I mean, Buffalo
Tom sent
Bills.
me a video as the touchdown was being scored.
I don't care where. I don't care where you go. You're gonna find a Bills bar. You're gonna find that. It's incredible.
I grew up a Steelers fan. It's not a long story. My godfather was in the service, bought me home a Steeler jersey for Christmas, and Bills weren't very good. Giants and Jets weren't very good, so and the Steelers were. So I became a Steeler fan as a young kid. And there's a big Steeler nation. Don't get me wrong, but man, those Mafia.
It's incredible.
They travel. They're fun. So they adopted me this past weekend. They took over the Elbow Room in Fort Lauderdale, which is where I'm located in Florida, and they shut the street down. They were breaking tables.
Yeah, it's incredible. So you're in Lauderdale. You're in the really cool part of Florida.
Yeah,
awesome. You're at the south. In Miami is such a cool town, and South Beach and Key West and all of that stuff is so cool.
Yeah, Bill. I was blessed to have a friend invited us down for a week during COVID. Ended up being 6 weeks.
Wow.
And the walkability, the ability to go to the beach. I fell in love with the ocean, just like I fell in love with our like inlet in Old Forge in that area in the fall is absolutely beautiful. The ocean is a different thing. As a kid from upstate New York who didn't have the ability as a young person to travel as much as maybe some other people. Wow,
it is incredible.
To be able to walk the ocean and see the ocean and the intercoastal with manatees and just the boats. It's the Venice of, the North America. So you see yachts and homes that you're not going to see other places. But I'm a big sports fan. I'm a big music fan. So being in that area, I had the ability to go to Marlins games. I saw the Yankees play down there last year. I've seen the Mets play, et cetera, like Trout. The
that's cool.
The Dolphins are there. So you got the University of Miami sports. Syracuse comes in for hoops sometimes, but and then north of me, there's West Palm, where there's a concert area similar to what we have out at Lakeview. They run that 12 months a year, so I've seen concerts.
Yeah, it's really
in
cool.
Summer there through January. You'll see Dave Matthews coming in the winter, Zach Brown. And there's so much live music up and down that coast, 45 minutes north, 45 minutes south, that there's just always something to do.
Yeah.
Always somewhere that, it's really the tough part there is deciding what not to do.
Yeah.
And, with the Stanley, and the odds rebirth, we do have a lot going on here that, we don't appreciate enough maybe, but.
Well, we didn't have. That's the beauty of it. Stuff that wasn't going on around here is a big deal. But that's why traveling to Florida, although I will tell you that the way this was what the auto industry did in the 70s. Don't buy a foreign car because you can't get the parts. In these days, what the Chamber of Commerce does about moving out of the area and moving to Florida is, okay, yeah, you can go to Florida, but you got poisonous snakes, you got poisonous spiders. And we don't have any hurricanes up here. So that's how we prevent people from moving away. But certainly you have done it. And Tom, we wish you the best. And so it's for sale. You can see it all online. We have a story on our website. And you've done some great things up here. And congratulations for all of that.
Well, thank you, Bill. I really want to appreciate it. You've had me on more than once for a lot of different reasons, fundraisers usually. And you're very gracious with your time, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Thanks for everything you do.
We'll be visiting in January, just so you know. See you down there.
The mentoring and the charity work you've done with Andrew, obviously, I appreciate that as well.
That's the biggest charity of all. I'm just telling you.
I grew up with his family. I adore his mom and his uncles, and of course his stepdad Pete. His amazing family, and he's a great kid. So, but he wouldn't be that person without you. I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm sure he would have done just fine without me. I'm sure that's what his family says every night before they go to bed. Oh boy. All right. Well, listen. Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm going to stop teasing him, but
Tom,
if I didn't say good things about him, his mom would be calling me.
That's a very good point.
That's right. You'd be in trouble. You'd be in trouble.
Check out.
Check out the listing on our website at WIBX950.com. Tom, great talking to you. Thank you for the time, and congratulations.
Thanks again, Bill. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.
You do the same.
All right, brother.
You can look at that story, which you have up on the website, right?
That's correct.
All right, WIBX950.com. Let me go to, do you have my listing here? 3 topics, 3 legal topics. It's time for the Rosenthal.
The Rosenthal Report.
That was rundown.
No, that's a read rundown.
Read
this
rundown.
is the Rosenthal Report. Come on.
All right, Jeremy. Good morning.
Good morning. Y'all make it sound so much tougher than it actually is. I mean, nobody says Rosenthal is quite as solidly as that. Yeah. So thank you.
Well, listen,
we respect the hell out of you, and we like when you come on. So.
It's all about where you put the emphasis. I'm telling you, it changes everything. There we go. All right, here we go. Topic number 1, Colin Gray, the father of the Georgia high school shooting suspect charged with murder, manslaughter, and child cruelty. I think it's about time. Is this going to stand?
It might. You've got the Michigan shooting case, which kind of preceded this, right? And everybody's asking, well, is this ushering in a new era of parent accountability? Well, I think we've got our answer. I think the answer is yes. Now, the Michigan case had a much tighter nexus, much worse facts for the parents. The Michigan case had the parents come in the day of the shooting. The kid was drawing a gun, and the counselor said, "Take your kid now. Take him, please go." And they, no, we're good. You can leave him here. And then there was a shooting that day. Here, there was about a year notice where the FBI came in, told the boy had a threat online. So we're going to see if this thing stands, if there's more and more of these, if they get traction. Certainly we don't want more shootings, but I think this is the motion of the ocean.
Yeah. And is this the case where the father bought him the gun?
Christmas?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing.
Yeah, it was. That's right.
Well.
Yeah.
And I think you have a lot of people, a lot of parents who are saying, listen, we're responsible for our kids. And, if you have a problem, you got to seek help. And the answer is not the moves that these people have made. Topic number 2, Florida free kill law is back in the spotlight after a surgeon removed the liver instead of the spleen. Real problem. Talk about this one.
I get my liver and spleen confused all the time. I don't know about you guys. My liver is,
I have fatty spleen. I don't know about you, but I have fatty spleen. So.
Well, if I had kept up on my trajectory, people would have known what my liver looks like. I'll tell you.
Oh, how do you make this mistake? Yeah,
I'll take your word on the spleen. So the law in Florida, it's nuts. The law in Florida says that if you are over 25 years old and you don't have any dependents, you don't have any children under 25, and you're not married, if you die in a medical malpractice situation, you can't sue. That's it. What most states have is there's an estate. If I die, if something happens to me, if I'm in a car accident, or if I'm killed by a doctor who takes out the wrong whatever,
right?
My estate can sue, right? Beyond the grave, my estate can sue, and my beneficiaries can reap the rewards or whatever I'm worth, right? But in Florida, you can't do that. They just cut you off, which means that if you're on the table there and the doctor's like, well, this guy doesn't have any kids and he's not married, you know what? Let's try something different here. So that law, they're looking at repealing it, but it's an outlier, and it's had some pretty bad results.
Yeah. The third topic, TikTok turning to veteran Supreme Court attorneys to fight their case against the U.S. TikTok is enormous. The withdrawal that people will go through in this country if they were to get rid of TikTok. What do you think?
It'd be pathetic.
We're going to find out a lot more about us, won't we, than we will TikTok. Lot of moving parts here. You've got the First Amendment part, but I'll tell you something that I've been hearing and reading about this topic. It's the algorithm. That's the valuable part of TikTok, right? Mm-hmm. It's not the Ferrari, it's the engine, right? And what they're saying is, well, we'll sell you TikTok. We're going to keep the algorithm, and we're just going to start a new company and remarket that to Americans. Mm. So they may avoid this anyway. They're trying to get the Supreme Court to stop it, which might work on free speech grounds, saying, look, there's other ways that you can do this. You don't have to limit the speech. And anytime you're passing legislation that affects speech, you're going to get scrutinized, and it's going to be tricky.
Yeah. And there's that slippery slope that plays a role in this too, right?
For sure. I mean, a lot of the government has tried to make it clear that, look, we're not going after you, Facebook, Meta, X. We're not going after you, at least not for these reasons. We're going after TikTok because it's the Chinese and because there's a potential huge data issue. Not only that, but what they're really worried about is that, look, you've got 170 million users, and if you want to affect U.S. policy or public opinion, you just tweak your algorithm, right? And then we're all marching zombie communist China, right? So that's why they want to do this, and so they're trying to make it clear that all the other social medias aren't on the chopping block, at least not this way, right? There's other issues with big tech, but not that.
My wife is a big TikTok person. She loves it. She goes through it and watches it all the time. I caught her the other day trying to throw our forks away.
What?
I don't know. We're going chopsticks.
Okay, well,
sorry.
She's worried about your spleen.
That's probably it. It's the spleen. It's the fatty spleen. So, yeah, what are you going to do? All right, great stuff. We appreciate it. The Rosenthal Report.
The Rosenthal Report.
There we go.
Man, that's like Clint Eastwood. I love it. All right, thanks, guys.
Jeremy, thank you. All right, have a great day. It's just throwing the forks out because we're not using forks anymore.
Yeah.
We're using
chopsticks.
Chopsticks.
I do like some of the
didn't go
recipes that inspire my fiance through TikTok.
There's a lot of stuff that comes out of that I really wonder about. Am I still going or I got to break?
You're going to have to break, yeah.
A lot of stuff. Well, let me break. But there's a lot of stuff that comes out of that you really wonder, how are they affecting are they learning our secrets of how to twerk? I just don't. Although you're getting a lot of political opinion right now.
Yes.
With the race going on, obviously this is a tense time. This next couple of months. Ryan Nobles from NBC is up next on WIBX.
Carl's massive overstock clearance sale. Recliners from $199. Sofa and love seats from $299 each. Bedroom $799 or less. My Carl's New Hartford Shopping Center.
Are you looking to make a difference? Holland Patton Central School District is now hiring bus drivers. Make a difference in students' lives while engaging in a great career. Full and part-time positions are possible. Applicants must be 21 years of age or older with a Class B CDL license. On-site training is available for those who do not currently hold a license. Benefits include New York State retirement and paid time off. Apply today at oneida-portal.mycivilservice.com/post/other OPP or call 315-865-4103 for more information.
Is your business women-owned, been operating for more than a year, and located in Herkimer or Oneida County? Would you like to help your business grow? The Women's Fund of Herkimer and Oneida Counties is offering $5,000 grants to women-owned businesses in the area. The deadline to apply is Monday, September 30th, so why wait? Apply now at womensfundhoc.org. The Women's Fund of Herkimer and Oneida Counties, empowering women and girls, helping communities thrive for more than 25 years.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in Central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
Right now at Mattress Express, buy almost any king or queen set in the store and get a free adjustable base upgrade. Everybody loves a free adjustable base. And take up to 5 years to pay for anything in the store with no money down for qualified buyers. See store for details.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
The Stanley Theater in downtown Utica presents 1964, The Tribute, on Thursday, September 19th. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit thestanley.org.
Carl's massive overstock clearance sale. Recliners from $199. Sofa and love seats from $299 each. Bedroom $799 or less. My Carl's New Hartford Shopping Center.
Keeler in the morning, Keeler in the morning.
This is Keeler in the morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Hey, portions of the program brought to you by Ricky Z and Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Certified pre-owned vehicles you'll find with a 160-point inspection and the balance of the 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. And if you need a lower payment, Ricky will take care of you. He'll simply say, let's make your deal on a Mazda. Certified pre-owned vehicle from the dealership that's achieved first place nationally in customer satisfaction. Where it's always easy to do business, Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. On the line right now from NBC, Ryan Nobles. Good morning.
Bill, I have to tell you, right now I'm a little unsettled. Can I tell you why?
Mm-hmm.
Our New York Mets are 2 games clear in the wild card. They seem to be playing the best baseball of the season at the right time. And our Buffalo Bills are 2-0 and might be the best team in football. And I'm just waiting for the bottom to fall out. Something's got to go wrong here.
Well,
Everything's going a little too well.
And on top of it, Syracuse is 2-0.
Another great point.
Yeah.
You bring up a great point about Syracuse. With this new expanded playoff and them playing in a power conference, if they could go on a run and end up in the playoffs. It's crazy.
It's something people are actually talking about. And, it's just nuts. And you're right. Finally, the offense which has been sluggish over the last couple of weeks for September for the Mets, the offense finally broke out last night. I mean, something has gotten into Pete Alonso's head, and I almost feel like this criticism of him, which you're seeing in the New York papers, saying, is he playing his final homestand in Queens? He's struggling this year, although his struggling, a lot of players would be like,
runs, right?
yeah, it's just so. But I got to tell you, they just exploded last night, and pitching has come back. That's really the key. There's some stability coming out of the bullpen.
Well, I got to tell you, I think the difference in this season has been the acquisition of Stearns as the president of baseball operations, the guy that they stole from Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you take into account, if you told me at the beginning of the year that you'd lose Kodai Sengai, I think he pitched 1 game the entire season, and he was supposed to be their ace. And the way that he has cobbled together a pitching staff with a bunch of guys that the rest of the league had given up on, Sean Manaea, for instance, and their pitching has been their strength through this run. They've got some of the best. I mean, they've got guys going 7-8 innings, starting pitchers going 7 or 8 innings. There are a few other teams that are doing that. And then, of course, the resurgence of Francisco Lindor, who's an MVP candidate. If it weren't for Shohei Ohtani, he'd probably be a shoo-in. And then
Aaron Judge. I mean, come on, Ryan. Let's be honest here. I mean, you're forgetting
two different leagues, Andrew. Yeah. There's the National League
that's
and the
true.
American
Yeah,
League. I'm talking about the National League.
Yes.
Getting sensitive here. Oversensitive.
Yeah, but the Acuna guy, kid last night,
oh my God,
a home run.
And how about
would imagine the season that Lindor's having, there may be a fight for who's going to play shortstop. So I'm feeling pretty good.
How about the defense? I mean, this team's defense is pristine. I got to say, back when you weren't a believer, back in May, I was like, just hang in there. We're going to turn it around. And here we are.
When did they start the season? Did they start the season 0-8 or 0-5?
It was terrible. Yeah, I forgot what it was. It was awful. And then April and May were just brutal. I mean, they were, 15 games, 18 games under 500. It was whatever it was terrible.
Well, when they started going on the run, and they've really been the best team in baseball since the end of June.
Yeah.
And my thought process was, if they can just get the wild card, they are going to be a dangerous team. And now they've positioned themselves to do that. Now they could easily blow it. They
could.
After this series with the Nationals, the last 3 series are brutal. They've got the Braves, the Phillies, and the Brewers. Basically, the other 3 outside the Dodgers, the 3 best teams in baseball in the National League. So they're going to have to earn it. But man, they've been fun to watch here in this last go.
How about Mendoza for Manager of the Year? I mean, it depends on where they end up, but man, he could be in the running.
How could he not be in the conversation, right? Based just on what we talked about. I don't, when the season started, they went 0-5. They went on a bit of a run in, the end of May, but then, the beginning of June was just awful, and it looked like this season was going to be lost. It was a tailspin, and he found a way, combined with these guys at Iglesias that Sturge just found on the scrap heap, who really thought he was going to be a pop star. They got a guy that was an Olympic speed skater. This collection of players is just nothing that anybody would have ever imagined, and you've got to give Stearns credit for that.
No doubt about it. Have you heard any truth about the rumor, and if there's any truth to it, that there are several Yankees players that are going around and stealing people's pets and eating them? Have you heard about that? That seems to be...
I haven't heard about it, but it sounds like something somebody should look into.
I think we should look into it.
Did you read it somewhere on the internet, or did you see a report on it somewhere?
They say it's true. I mean, I'm just saying. So,
I'm glad that you brought this up, because this is something I haven't really had. There wasn't really a platform for me to express how much I'm annoyed by this story. When I remember when I first started at WKTV, even before that, when I was an intern in Rochester, and I'm not sure if newsrooms still do this, because I don't spend a lot of time in the physical newsroom anymore, but we used to have multiple scanners in the newsroom that would chirp all day long, right? And we had these assignment editors that worked at all the different newsrooms that I worked in that had a unique ability to decipher the scanner as it was chirping all day long and know what was something we need to actually pay attention to versus something you had to ignore. And I remember you'd hear on the scanner things that were pretty explosive, right? You'd hear shots fired or man down, or you'd hear all of these things. And I would be like, well, we got to report that.
Right.
And I would always remember these grizzled assignment editors saying, you never report scanner traffic. You wait and you get this confirmed. And what this reads to me is, these are people reporting scanner traffic. And in the era of everyone having access to the information that flows, and then also having a platform to share that information through the internet, that's how rumors and misinformation start flying. In a responsible newsroom, we would wait. You'd use the scanner as a guide to help you figure out what was happening. But you'd never just take what was on the scanner and report that, because you had to get that information verified. And that's what this sounds like to me. It's scanner traffic. It's somebody that called 911 or something along those lines, thinking they saw something, but they actually didn't.
I can go even further in that, and we experienced right here after, of course, 9/11. You had a lot of reports of things that people we didn't even the people didn't even know if they were Muslims or what they were, but all the reports that were coming in that so and so is burning a flag, this one's doing, and then it turns out to be unfounded, and then the person comes back to say, no, I'm telling you it's true, so and so, I have a sister who actually saw it firsthand. Turns out he doesn't even have a sister. That's the problem with these stories. We recently had one maybe 2 years ago about illegal immigrants that were working just down the street in Marcy at a farm. Turns out there were migrant workers, but they were legal and they were brought up from the South, or the governor is putting in illegal migrants over near the Thruway in Utica. Again, these are rumors that all came through and were true, but really weren't. And you see, and then if you just take that and throw it into the national spotlight, all of a sudden you have a disaster, which I think has been a disaster in Springfield, Ohio. For the people there, bomb scares and everything else, this is just terrible.
And the big problem here is, Bill, it's one thing, there are bad actors everywhere, right? And the internet is now filled with conspiracy theorists on both the right and the left who have no problem and no qualms about using their massive platforms, millions and millions of followers, to spout nonsense just because it helps continue to build their followership, and they thrive in kind of the malaise of this. But the big problem here is that you had the Republican nominee, the former president of the United States, go on to a national debate stage and make these accusations without any sort of proof whatsoever, and then when fact-checked on it, blame the moderators for the debate being biased. And now here we are, 2 weeks from the debate, and his campaign has been given multiple opportunities to correct the record. You have leaders in Ohio, the governor of Ohio, pleading with Republicans to stop peddling
Who's
this nonsense.
Republican, by the way?
Yes, exactly. And what did J.D. Vance say yesterday? Well, that sometimes you have to color the truth a little bit just to draw attention to a serious problem. I mean, that's ridiculous. And that, I think, is the bigger problem here. There's always been people that are going to peddle misinformation. It's the responsibility of the people in positions of authority to cut through that, to be the leaders, to say, no, this is actually what's happening, and this is how we need to address it. And that you just do not see that happening now on the Republican side.
You just do not, and it is irresponsible, and I wish it wasn't happening, but it is, and it's probably a preview of what is to come for the next couple of months. I'm afraid we're going to be dealing with a lot of this, and then you have people shooting at the former president, And I mean, everything just seems to be so upside down. And I never talked about any of the things you wanted to talk about, tech company and the early voting in Virginia. And I'm gonna take one more bad step, and that is the Buffalo Bills. What do you think? I mean, I gotta tell you, I'm feeling good. I hate Mahomes, but I'm feeling good.
I'm going to tell you the most important score from the weekend that makes me feel very, very good about the Buffalo Bills season. It's not the score of the Bills game. It's not the fact that the Bengals are 0-2 and that the Ravens are 0-2. The number one thing that makes me feel good about the Bills is how the Arizona Cardinals destroyed the LA Rams. Destroyed. Put up 41 points on the Los Angeles Rams. I watched week one, and the Bills really handily won that game, but really gave Arizona opportunities to win. And I was concerned about how Arizona moved the ball. Well, it could be that Arizona is actually a very good team.
Yeah, but the Bills are
Buffalo
just better.
Pretty easily.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good sign of things to come for Buffalo. And they could be 3-0 after Monday night, which is pretty remarkable because they've got a brutal stretch after that.
We should just bring COVID back, cancel baseball, cancel football and everything.
Jeez.
Let's end right now, and then I don't have any disappointment.
Stop it now. Stop it now.
All right, Ryan. Have a great week. We'll talk next week. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You do the same. Thanks.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
They hope to get answers they demand. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The House Task Force investigating the first Trump assassination attempt will get a Secret Service briefing today on the second attempt.
They think race car driving is dangerous? No. They think bull riding, that's pretty scary, right? No. This is a dangerous business, so we have to keep it safe.
Former President Trump at a town hall in Flint, Michigan, his first event since the attempt thwarted Sunday at a Trump golf course in Florida, where a suspect is now in custody. Ahead of the former president's rally tonight on New York's Long Island, he says he needs more security amid calls for Congress to provide more Secret Service funding. But Republican Senator Rand Paul tells Fox Business,
these were errors of willpower, not manpower. Now, like Washington, everything else, somebody fails at their job, you give them more money. No, why don't we replace the people who didn't do their job and have better people in those positions?
Vice President Harris at a Q&A with black journalists in Philadelphia says she called the former president after the second attempt and told him she condemns political violence, adding,
we can and should have healthy debates and discussion and disagreements.
Now, this morning, Harris got an endorsement from more than 100 Republicans who served in senior roles under past GOP presidents, including William Webster, who was the CIA and FBI director for Reagan and the first President Bush. It's up to 12 deaths in the pager explosion attacks in Lebanon, targeting militants with Hezbollah, which blames Israel and vows revenge. The pagers were apparently rigged with explosives manufactured by a company in Hungary.
I reached out to BAC, no response. The Associated Press is reporting that BAC is starting to look like a shell company. The U.S. says they had no heads-up warning about the attack.
Fox's Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv. Sean Diddy Combs woke up in jail a second day in New York City, where the rapper and music producer will try again at a hearing today to be freed on bond as Combs faces sex trafficking and racketeering federal charges. America's listening to Fox News.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Jerry Padgett, the second enlisted in the U.S. Navy and deployed multiple times to Iraq and Afghanistan until Jerry was catastrophically injured in an improvised explosive device blast. Now, Jerry received a new smart home thanks to our friends at the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Now, the home is in the foundation's Let Us Do Good Village. It's in Florida, and Jerry now lives more independently thanks to the specially adaptive technologies. Commit to $11 a month, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
When we get together with others, we can do more. On September 20th, our community will hold Mohawk Valley Gives, a 24-hour day of giving to benefit area nonprofits. Your donation will help hundreds of nonprofit organizations meet our community's greatest needs, and every dollar counts. Join us on September 20th at givemb.org, and let's show everybody that Mohawk Valley gives.
Powered by the Community Foundation and Up Mobility Foundation, proudly sponsored by Staffworks and M&T Bank, and brought to you by Town Square Media.
I don't like onions. I'm doing paleo. Do they have gluten-free bagels? You can't juggle every food request for a work event, or can you? EasyCater is the all-in-one tech platform that makes it easy to get restaurant catering for work, with options for any group's size, taste, dietary preference, or budget. EasyCater saves your favorite restaurants and orders, which makes reordering a snap. Need to modify an order? No problem. So when it comes to food for work, make it easy on yourself with EasyCater. Start your order at easycater.com.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer. Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed. Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code SUPPORT, or text SUPPORT to 511-511 and claim 40% off. roundhouseprovisions.com, code SUPPORT.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text SUPPORT to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.